really judge you for the decisions you made the night before.
Okay,
if you can handle your business, I think you get a lot more leeway in it. If you don't let the I feel like trash or I did this too like, just as long as things are getting taken care of, you're usually squared away. You're like, oh, I'm going to go out with the boys tonight at 7. Maybe cook dinner first. Square away some dinner, load up the dishwasher, then go out. You've handled your business just as long as on either side. I find that it makes it a lot easier.
I've been pounded this week.
That's my one piece of advice is you head to go get married.
Congrats to Mac and
Thanks,
Siobhan.
Guys.
So congratulations.
Did you write your own vows? I didn't know it though.
Oh, is that a yes or
you
no?
go custom vows or
I don't know.
Standard?
Yes.
Personal vows by ourselves, back to back.
Ooh, how emotional! That's emotional.
Did you have
the tears are
somebody
gonna be flowing?
Did you have somebody proofread it?
To be honest, I've got word vomit out. I have not structured it quite yet.
Oh, you're running out of time. You don't.
He's got till Saturday afternoon, right? Saturday afternoon.
Exactly.
Anyway, congrats
He
to
likes
them.
the pressure.
Saturday afternoon. There you go. Awesome stuff there.
Fair enough. All right. Congrats to Mac. If you haven't wished it, make sure you send him a tweet or something. That's my advice. That's all I got. I actually think it's good, just general life advice. People underrate powering through. Like, people appreciate that in people, like an ability to just find a way to fundamentally operate even when you don't want to. You and I'd be sitting out at 100-degree heat next Monday for training camp.
We're
just gonna have to battle through that one, Alex. Sometimes you got to make it work. I do still have the cold towels.
I'm buying new ones. Those are over a year. Those are over a year old. I'm buying new ones.
Oh, you're going fresh, huh?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
I have to get the cooler ready and to rock and roll. We'll be good. Let's start talking a little Chiefs here though, and then we'll get into Salvador Perez and some history made yesterday, and which was going to be cool in its own right, and then it turned into more of a story because a fan decided to jump in the fountains and get arrested as well, all for trying to get this baseball that I'm assuming he was thinking he was going to be able to cash in on and swap out with Salvador Perez. Instead, he got arrested and he doesn't have the baseball. So we'll do that in just a little bit.
That's a tough turn.
But nationally, it's been pretty evident, I think, for any Chiefs fan that's paid attention for the last couple months. Heading into camp, nationally, everybody's down on the Chiefs. Nationally, everybody is down on them. There's some that have even gone as far as to say they have no chance to be in the conversation to win the Super Bowl. Now, I have told you, I think they're a year away, but I also have said if they get in the postseason, anything can happen. I still believe at that point in time, you'd be foolish to count them out. My whole thing has been, I don't expect them to jump back and be a 13-win team and the top team of the AFC again. I think that's a pretty fair conversation to have. What to me is ridiculous is people like Connor Orr out there saying 44% of the league can win the Super Bowl, but the Chiefs are not one of them. If you think almost half the league can win the Super Bowl, then how the hell are the Chiefs not in that group?
See, that to me is where I kind of run the issue. And we can play some audio if we want from Gruden or others or that, but you're going to write an article in SI, and this is where the hate's gone too far. It's fine to be down on the Chiefs in the sense that they don't look nearly as dominant on paper as they have looked. Although I would argue that's been the case going into other years, but you chose to ignore it based off of their success. So you're allowing one 6-win season that was derailed by Patrick Mahomes' injury late to impact your decision on the roster more than all the other years where they consistently were going to the AFC title game and Super Bowls. To write an article, to me, it's just silly. To write an article at SI and say, here are the teams. I've made the definitive list of the teams who can win the Super Bowl, and I've narrowed it all the way down to 14, and not include Kansas City, who has won 3 Super Bowls and attended 5 in the last 8 years. Well, what's the point of this list then? You can't tell me that they're off of it and other teams are on it. And what I can't figure out is how has it gone so far the other direction? And that's the part that still surprises me. It's why the national hate on that end has gone so far.
He said Baltimore, Buffalo, Chicago.
He put the Cowboys on
Dallas,
the list.
Denver, Detroit, Green Bay, Houston, Jacksonville, the Chargers, the Rams, the Patriots, the Niners, the Seahawks can all win the Super Bowl. He does not have the Chiefs on.
What's weird is I actually don't disagree with a huge chunk of his list, other than I would never put the Cowboys on any list of the possibility of winning the Super Bowl because I've never seen them come anywhere close to doing it. So, I'd leave them off my list just for the sake of that ain't happening. And I wouldn't put Houston on the list because I don't trust their offense at all. I love their defense. but I don't trust their offense in any capacity. Other than that, the list seems about right. Would I be surprised if the Patriots or 49ers or Seahawks found a way to do it? No, I wouldn't be stunned. But you can't make a list that includes 44% of the league and not, as we've lost power in the entire building. I don't know if we're on the air.
The lights are back on.
As far as I know, we are.
3 seconds of darkness.
That was weird.
That was very bizarre. Yeah, I think we got the email a week ago. Remember when we had the AC problems 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
They're doing something in the upper level. We were told they're intermittent AC outages. I didn't know that meant power as well.
It just went out. That was weird.
We're back though. I don't think
If
we
you
ever
were
lost
watching that
anything.
on
We
the
have a
stream-
generator. We got a generator.
Yeah,
we're
it's
good.
probably fine.
Yeah,
Somebody will have to let us know. Did you lose us on the video stream?
I think we're good.
I don't have internet anymore on my laptop, so I can't be for sure one way or the other.
Interesting.
But when you go back through and you look at like this list, it's just hard for me to not take that seriously. The Chiefs roster, again, I'm not arguing has issues, right? I'm not pretending like they're the best team in the NFL. But I will tell you, Gold, that there are times in which I think that the language has gone too far on the other side. They're making it seem like they stink. The Chiefs still have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They don't stink.
Yeah, to me, they still have the best quarterback in football. And while we have some questions about whether Andy will adapt again, I still think they have the best, if not one of the best, head coaches in football. To suggest that they aren't in the conversation is kind of foolish. Again, I think it's more than fair to say they're not one of those top teams, as in the top 2 or 3 in their conference. I know some people get mad when I even say that. To me, that's a fair conversation to have. But to suggest that they have just no chance and it's just a lost season, that is ludicrous. I really believe that. And then John Gruden, he was speaking the other day. He had this to say about the AFC West.
All right, Coach, it's prediction time. Give us a winner. Who wins this division?
I'm going to pick Denver just because of the continuity. Head coach, quarterback, almost all their starters are back on both sides of the ball, and they're going to get a jolt from Waddle. I like the Chargers to win it. The Broncos to win it. I like the Chargers in second, and I like the Chiefs to finish third, but I think all 3 of those teams can be playoff teams. And I think the Raiders are going to improve, but unfortunately for the Silver and Black, this is a very tough division with some established coaches and quarterbacks.
I mean, yeah, the Raiders are still going to be irrelevant in this division. Look,
Yeah, we don't need to even mention them in this conversation.
I have less of an issue with what John Gruden's saying about the AFC West than I do someone saying we think there's 15-plus teams that can make a Super Bowl and the Chiefs aren't one. The AFC West is going to be very challenging again. I think the winner will not be anywhere near the win total that we saw last year where Denver got 14 wins. I don't think Denver's going to be a 14-win team again. I don't think anybody in this division is getting to 14 wins. That's not like some way out there stance, but that's very difficult to do. I think if you get to 12, you got a great shot to win it. To me, 13, I think you could lock in and mark down in Sharpie that you win the division. But this is tough. I mean, we'll do our official predictions later on.
Sure.
This, to me, if you don't pick the Chiefs to win the West, this, to me, is not like some hot take from somebody out there. I don't have as big of an issue. I will be surprised if they finish third. But remember, third in this division, Cody, could be the winner has 12. You lose a tiebreaker at 12, and then the other team has 11. Third place in this division doesn't mean they're saying, in my opinion, I don't take it as, oh, you're only going to have 9 wins or something like that.
No, I think the division will end up being pretty close. Gruden's a little bit less harsh versus the other outside of it. I guess just what about the roster makes them, because this is the part I think we lose sight of. It's not that the Chiefs have roster problems. It's that somehow in doing this, you're ignoring the problems for these other teams. Like Dallas, for instance. Dallas has to go from being one of the league's worst defenses, one of the 3 worst defenses in the entire NFL, to competent, like in a single offseason, right? Baltimore has to make sure Lamar Jackson stays healthy, make sure their offense gets back on track, and they have to do that with a brand new head coach. Buffalo has to get their defense back in order, and they don't have much pass rush help. They don't have, their wide receivers aren't any better than Kansas City's. And so they have problems. And so, like, it's not that Kansas City is far. I don't take it as, and I don't look at it as Kansas City is far better than all these other teams. I look at it as, I don't know how they can't be included in the conversation with all these others. None of these other teams hold some superpower over the rest. Like, other than, like, maybe 1 or 2 teams in the NFC that I'm like, yikes. Like the Rams, right? I don't think the Chiefs need to be included in that conversation. But we're not talking about the 3 teams with the most likelihood to win it. What's the point in saying 50% of the league can win it, but not Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, that's the part.
That just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, in the NFL's history, when you have the best or second best quarterback or the best or top 3 coach, I don't know any time where people have ever really claimed you don't have a shot if you're also going to list 14 other teams. So I said, why are you guys crying and complaining? I don't think we're crying and complaining. I just think the article doesn't make any sense. If you only listed 4 teams that in his mind can win, we wouldn't even be having a conversation today on the show. If the article is, these are the 4 teams that can win the Super Bowl and the Chiefs weren't on it, I'd have zero problem with it. You listed 14. That's the problem, and they're not one of them. That's it.
It's half the damn league.
It's not crying or complaining. It's bizarre to me. It doesn't make much sense.
Somebody says, Cowboys have more Super Bowls than the Chiefs. Wake up, Cody.
What does that have to do with this year, though?
I want to because I said I've never seen the Cowboys win anything.
Oh.
Because they haven't won anything since the Cowboys' last Super Bowl titles were before Drew was born.
Is that right?
I don't know. Drew, what year were you born?
1995.
Okay.
I mean, it's right there.
I do think they could win it this year, though. Just
What?
depends on how their defense is.
I like Dak Prescott. You guys
No
know
defense
that.
goes from 29th to 11th. That's the thing that I think
They
people
don't
always,
have with that
never
offense.
happens.
I don't think they have to. They got George Pickens, C.D. Lamb, and Dak Prescott. I mean, that offense.
That division-
Rico Dowdle.
That
G.G.
division's there.
Ferguson?
That division's there for the taking. We'll do our quarterback rankings coming up, I think, about 11 o'clock or so. But you guys know my offseason kind of like flyer bet of the entire season is the Giants to win that division. I think it's wide open. I think it's wide open division.
I don't know. After hearing John Harbaugh
Well,
talk,
we'll get to that too. Yeah, that scared me a little bit. And seeing the Cam Scatterboot try to do a backflip and
that was.
He said, "I'm fine."
That was insane.
like what?
Idiot. Yeah.
Wait, you're just now realizing Cam Scatterboot, while a great football player, may not be the smartest guy out there. We're just now picking up on that.
Dude was hitting his helmet against a brick wall in
Right.
college.
That's my point. Yeah.
It's still pretty crazy that the Chiefs.
He's a psychopath.
all you need is one run. The Chiefs are one more Super Bowl title away from being tied for second most all time. 2 more from being tied for the franchise with the most Super Bowl titles of all time, with the Patriots and the Steelers. But yet, Tom Brady has more than any individual franchise still on his own.
Yeah. The Cowboys did win the year Drew was born. They won the Super Bowl. 95.
Sorry, I apologize.
Oh, well, I was born. I was born in October.
Okay.
So-
See,
so
he
he
was
he's
not
not, but he was not alive in the Cowboys' last Super
he
Bowl
was not
champion.
born yet. Yeah.
They were technically the defending Super Bowl champions when Drew was born.
There you go.
But they haven't won one since. I don't even know. They've won like a handful of
I've seen the
playoff games
Cowboys
since.
win 3. I just don't remember any of them.
Yeah, I get. Like, I remember the 90s Cowboys. I was at least of an age that I can remember them being good.
I'm
But I
joking,
watched them
Cody.
for
I was 2 years old and
30
3 years
years
old and 4 years old
Yeah.
when they won or whatever.
Been a long time.
Anyway.
I don't respect, like, I will say this just goes to like football and stuff too. I have very little respect when you start bragging about championships and like the odds. When you're like, well, my team's got, like, if you're a New York Yankees fan, you're like, well, the Yankees have 70,000 championships. I'm like, they don't have one more recently than the Royals. They're one of the highest budget teams in baseball. You should be embarrassed. I'm glad they won a bunch in 1912. No one cares. They're all dead. Everyone from 1912 is dead. There's not a single alive person who ever watched that team play baseball. You don't get to brag about World Series or Super Bowl championships from 1890. It's like the Helms Trophy, people. College football fans rooting for their team and win a national championship when 47 teams claimed a national title that year. The old early college football numbers, those are all kinds of messed up. People, those are like all kinds of good. There literally are like years where they're like 12 people claim to have won the national
college football
championship.
and basketball.
Yeah.
Right? College football and basketball as well. Don't forget, by the way, as we get ready to talk some Royals baseball, this year we have partnered with KCUC, who's donating $50 to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for every home run the boys in blue hit this season. That includes, of course, yesterday when Salvador Perez tied George Brett's Royals record. In fact, unfortunately, though, 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives at KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. You see the best in KC. Scheduled today at kcuc.com.
Obviously, very cool.
We were hoping it happened on the homestand, and it did. That was like, I know he didn't break the record, but he now owns the record with George Brett for most home runs in Royals history. It probably is a record that, while yes, you compare it to some other franchises, 317 or whatever is not as high as other organizations. I bet you there's a lot of lifelong Royals fans, especially those that are older than you and I, that probably thought that record was never getting broken. Probably thought
Even
George
as
Brett,
low as it was?
Yeah, I bet you most people thought that George Brett was going to hold that record for their entire life.
I mean, if you go back through and you look at the teams, it's not an impressive number, right? The Rays have a lower one, but they've barely existed. The Guardians aren't way ahead of that. Jim Thome at 337, right, for their franchise. Players leave. it's not to say that they've never had great home run hitters. You and I both know Carlos Beltran, a pretty prolific one. We don't get to claim Harmon Killebrew, even though he had a lot of home runs and was technically a Royal. But like if you go back through team by team, it's more respectable than you think. And it was held by an all-time Royals great, and you have to be here a really long time, so it's still cool, even if it is a low number. And I think it's doubly impressive for Salvi because he's a catcher. We looked up where the rankings are. It's doubly impressive because of that. But most teams' home run records aren't as high as you think. The Mets, you might think it's high, 264. Nationals, 284. Like there are teams in which somebody hit 400 home runs for their team, like Stan Musial or Sammy Sosa, but plenty that didn't. But then we had all the controversy because the ball hit the fountains. A gentleman immediately jumped into the fountains to retrieve it and then was immediately arrested and had the ball taken away. And I was a little surprised. It was way more I saw, at least on social media. I'm curious if you guys agree, 913-586-7965. And because I think Salvi said something after the game, maybe people went this way. Way more of you were defending this guy in saying that they should have taken the ball away or arrested him. Those are the rules. They have rules. They have signs posted everywhere. It says, if you get in the fountains, we will prosecute you, and this is word to word, to the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a deterrent.
Yeah, they are. And like, if you just let this one guy get away with it, is it a deterrent? Or is it, I'm only allowed to jump in the fountains if it's a record-breaking home run?
Yeah.
It's not, it's the rules. I
know, I hate being the rules are rules person, and it sounds like that's what you are doing as well, but what you just said is correct. It's the punishment is stiff because it's a deterrent. There's also a safety element to this, too. Everybody probably has seen the photo of the past where the electrical wiring and everything that's in the water there, it's very dangerous. So it's for their own protection. And then also, what you just said, if it's like, well, during a record, I can jump in. Does this guy think he was the only person that wanted that baseball?
No, there's a bunch of people around.
Everybody else, if they could, 5 other people would have jumped in the water right next to him if they knew that they were allowed to jump in the water. So, consequences. Now, look, I hope he gets the bare minimum punishment or whatever it's going to be, and ultimately, whatever the legal system wants to do. Overall, he did not commit the worst crime or anything like this. Okay,
no,
but the punishment's the punishment for a reason, mainly because it's a deterrent. Now, Salvador Perez did try to help the guy out a little bit.
Police, just take care of the jail, please, and send him home. If I was saying, I maybe jumped up and try to get that ball. So please, and thank you for the hard work and try to get that ball.
He's like, if I would have, it's him, I might have jumped into. And look, Salvi's a good dude. I appreciate Salvi standing up for the guy. And look, I don't think there should be some massive, just slap him with a trespassing ticket and we can all move on. And if Salvi says he can have the ball, let the guy have the ball.
Yeah, and the follow-up on this, Fox 4 did a story, and our guy Rob Collins just sent me the link to it. Fox 4 did a story that apparently this guy he claims he was trying to retrieve the ball for a boy recovering from surgery. That's his search. That's his story. He says in this article, the friend jumped in the fountain to retrieve a ball for this guy's son. The son recently had a surgical procedure for treating a ruptured eardrum at Children's Mercy Hospital, missing most of his eardrum, suffering from permanent hearing loss. He, along with her friends and family, wanted nothing more than just get her son a ball from the game. Look, kudos to trying to help out somebody.
Yeah, that's cool.
Again, people don't like this stance, but it doesn't mean you get to break the law. Sorry, you call me a jerk or whatever if you want, but it doesn't mean you get to break the rules or whatever because afterwards we find out that maybe you were actually trying to get a ball for somebody, a kid. I'm sorry, that's not how this works.
Anybody who's been to Coffin for any amount of time knows this because of Fountain Mom or a million other reasons why. It says if at any time a guest enters a fountain, they will be immediately arrested, transported to the police station downtown and charged to the fullest extent of the law. They make a point of, and it is for safety. I know that this sounds like that, and I understand. Someone says, it's a rule, but it's not a law. But they're saying it's trespassing if you go in there, so it is kind of a law, and so it's not a law on the books in Missouri, but it is. They are saying trespassing if you enter it. Look, if they want to, take it easy, it's fine. I don't have some
yeah, I hope it's the lowest punishment possible.
It's just a crazy way. All this buildup, all this stuff, all this hype. Salvador Perez is going to tie George Brett. And then the lasting image is some dude getting handcuffed and walked out of the stadium is crazy. That just makes it feel so much more weird and surreal. Now, do you think if you get arrested, if you just agree to the punishment, should you get to keep the ball?
No.
You get ownership?
No.
I could almost let that go. Where it's like, you still technically possessed it, so maybe I'd let you keep the ball. No. Because they got to put the sticker on it. You can't just like run out of the stadium.
Right.
Then nobody can ever authenticate it. They can't know that it was actually that baseball that was hit. Some guy
Look,
over
I'm memorabilia guy and sports card guy or whatever, and gladly would love to have had the home run ball. But if I was right there, I also would know, Cody, I can't jump in the damn fountains to get it.
Is the bigger baseball the one that breaks it, or the one that tied Brett in this case? This isn't like the single season home run record or the all-time home run.
Yeah, this isn't Barry Bonds hitting over 500 home runs
so
or whatever.
So do you think the 317 one's cooler or the 318?
The 318, the one where you break the record.
Okay.
Which is going to happen on the road trip.
Yeah, that stinks. That definitely stinks.
Yeah, the text line reaction. I knew this would be the reaction from the text line. That's fine. Like I'm not in high school anymore. I don't need to be the cool kid or whatever that says I won't follow the rules. I have no problem admitting that. Like I think the guy screwed up. It's fine. I'm not trying to get brownie points with my friends in high school and try to act like I'm too cool to follow the rules. I don't care about the text line right now.
What's weird is like it doesn't even bother me when people break some rules. It's just this is a pretty established one. It's kind of like running on to a football field streaking. You know the punishment. Or just running on the field and taking a selfie.
We don't remember Fountain Lady? Anybody that's been around long enough remember Fountain Lady?
Like
she was swimming around in the fountains.
Oh, remember that.
But because he was trying to get a baseball, it's okay. That's why it's okay.
Someone says if they were actually prepared, they would have brought in a pool cleaning net to get the ball, Actually come handy.
Could you have done that?
Oh, I don't know the rules on that. I'm not going to presume. I think
that to me, you should be allowed to.
Yeah. If I bring in like a pool skimmer, you got to let me, and I scoop up the ball, you got to let me have it in that case, right?
I think so.
Or if I jerry rig anything, like all the different devices they were trying to get the baseball in the sand lot. If I get anything that retrieves the ball that doesn't put me in the water, I feel like you got to let me have the ball in that case.
You're not in the fountains at that time.
I mean, I just like, those are the rules. I know that sounds crazy because I break rules all the time. Like,
you do.
I get
it is a bit rich for you. I've been consistent. This is not a consistent take for you.
I guess this is one of those obvious ones that you know the consequence if you break it. Do I think this guy needs to go to jail for 6 months? Because no. Do I think he needs anything other than a fine? No. He doesn't need to spend a single second in jail. I don't think he committed some grievous act. I'm just saying they're gonna arrest you. They say they're gonna arrest you if they do it. If there was a sign on the highway that said, all right, speed limit 65. If I see you going 70, I will pull you over and you go immediately to jail. I probably wouldn't go 70 anymore. That's all. I'd probably just follow that rule a little more serious.
If you don't, from the 816, if you don't think he should be able to keep the ball, then you're mentally ill, Gold. Then you're clueless, and you're obviously clueless about the entire situation.
I think I can be talked into letting him keep the baseball, but that's about the extent of how far I'm willing to go with it. Still, just a crazy image. That guy getting handcuffed, walking out, and he's wearing the Salvi jersey, so clearly he knew what he was trying to get history-wise. He jumped in that fountain quick too. I showed Gold the video today. As soon as that ball hit the water, that man had already decided that if the ball hit the fountains, he was getting in. It felt like he had predetermined, I am willing to go this far if that's what it takes to get this baseball.
Yeah, I guess my question would be if the story is that he was getting this baseball for a sick kid, if there was another home run hit yesterday and he was near, was he going to do it the same, or did he only do it because of Salvador Perez's home run?
Someone says, I've seen people bring in the nets before. No different than jumping into the bullpen to get a ball. It would be crazy. Like if the guy jumped into the bullpen, does he get to keep it? You can't just jump on any part of the stadium.
What? I mean,
if the ball bounced back onto the field, I can't jump out in the left field and
isn't some
of
this just common sense?
I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding. I can't keep the baseball that I illegally or broke the rules to obtain. What are we talking about?
It wouldn't bother me just because whatever. That's not the part of he broke the rule. He'll be punished for the rule. If he gets to keep the ball, I don't care. That doesn't really bother me. I get your point. I'm not even arguing the logic in yours. I'm just I don't care. Sure, keep the ball. That feels like small potatoes by comparison somehow. Maybe it's not the same, but doesn't bother me. Someone says it means if I trespass to get the ball, it's like breaking into your house, but I get it.
You must be a big fan. You must be a big fan of the law, or whatever. I don't know if it still exists in Florida or whatever. Where it's like if I break into your backyard and I slip and crack my head open in your backyard, you're legally responsible. You must love that law too.
Those don't seem related.
Sure, it does, because you're saying that I can break a rule in law, but there's no responsibility for me at all.
I didn't say in every case and all things are created equal. I just said on this one where a baseball was in a fountain, not somebody can break into Alex's house. Robin, but they're going to keep all the stuff they robbed.
Common sense is very much gone in this world. We've known that for a bit, but that's crazy. All right, up next, let's talk about a player that even admitted that he has no power in his left leg. I think it means he's not playing football this year. That's next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Listen up, guys. Do you think you know who's going yard today? Well, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to prove your baseball expertise with Daily Dingers. Here's how it works. Make your pick on who's going to hit a home run, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a shot at extra winnings. Now, when your favorite star goes deep and knocks it out of the park, it'll feel that much sweeter. Daily Dingers is free to play, and you can lock in a pick every day of the baseball season, and that's why FanDuel is your home for home runs. Get ready to play your game. Make your first pick at FanDuel.com/local. One more time, that's FanDuel.com/local to play Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's going yard today. FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issue with non-withdrawable profit boost. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Spies KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexspyskc.com.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
I will say, had it been that Zach Campbell guy, I'd be asking for, like, life in prison. That guy sucks so bad.
Is that the guy that like shoves kids out of the way?
Yeah, that guy's the worst human being on the planet. And if he had jumped into the fountain, I'd be calling for a lifetime of incarceration, I think. That guy just stinks. That we can agree to that? That guy sucks worse than just this guy who jumped into the fountain.
Yeah, this guy doesn't suck. It's just I don't feel bad for you for getting arrested. That's all. Like nobody's saying this guy sucks, and like yeah, he shouldn't have anything more than a fine or whatever, and move on with his life. But like, there's still consequences, and
nobody get an update.
I don't know why that's controversial to say, but whatever.
I gotta figure out if that guy is he out?
Oh, I have no idea. Of course. I'm sure. I bet you he was out within an hour.
Yeah, I bet that's pretty quick.
Yeah, I would think so. Someone from the 816 is correct. At least he didn't pee on anyone.
Well,
yes.
that
correct.
That guy didn't even get in trouble.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Or did you see the Cubs had no response to that guy who slapped? Did you see this?
Yeah, that was the national anthem.
Yeah, the guy slapped the back of his head.
What?
Dude, there's a fan. He's just sitting during the national anthem, and some old crusty dude smacked the back of his head and told him to stand up, like hard. Like, you don't get to just assault me because I'm not standing for the anthem, pal. And the Cubs were like, they seem to sort it out. That was like their actual like public statement. Like, it seemed to work out okay.
Everything was all right.
Man, the guy. Can't just assault people.
I don't know if the Cubs won, but if the Cubs won, the Cubs won, everything's okay. That was their excuse.
Yeah, they didn't seem
crazy.
They weren't real bothered by it. You ought to look up the video, Drew. People just
smack
all
the heck
kinds
out of
trouble.
him. You're saying
between that and that guy in Southern Missouri who just like leapt off a bridge to try to avoid the police. He lived, by the way.
Yeah,
He's all
that was
scratched
Table
up.
Rock Bridge. Wasn't
Is that what it was?
I think it was down Table Rock.
Okay.
The guy he was about to get arrested by police, wasn't he? And then he jumped off the bridge.
Yeah, he flies off like he's just doing a swan dive. You see him go head first right off. It's crazy.
I'm looking at the video. The guy bends over and gets in his face.
Yeah.
Before he slaps him, and everybody's turning around and watching. Nobody's paying attention.
Nobody says anything.
Be hitting people in public.
Jeez.
Embarrassing. Let's talk a little Chiefs football, though.
Yeah.
As training camp, report day is tomorrow. We'll have Ron Kopp, editor-in-chief of Arrowhead Pride, come in for a little fan club. That way we can do some Chiefs talk. Is there a report? Alex and I will be out there on Monday. No fans on Monday. It's not to the public. But then on Wednesday, season ticket members, and then we'll be back out there on Friday as well. And then I don't know, 15 times or something during training camps. We'll have a chance to catch up with you guys while we're out there. I know that people constantly ask, are they going to get another defensive end? Are they going to get another wide receiver? One of the two wide receivers besides Diggs that constantly gets mentioned is Tyreek Hill. He was talking about his warm-up and trying to come back from this injury and said this as it relates to his left leg, which I feel like should give some people some concern.
So it's about 10 months after doing 2 surgeries. My left leg is the one that I injured. I have no power in my left leg at all, so I'm trying to regain all the power back in my left leg. But it's one day at a time.
I don't know, it's got the soundtrack in the back. That's his, not Drew.
Yeah,
he didn't just
was...
add it. That was Tyreek putting it on in the background. He had music playing.
Yeah.
I have no power in my left leg. It's July 23rd. I mean, the season starts
The fact that it's been 10 months
weeks.
it's been longer than your traditional injury for an ACL. We know that obviously it wasn't a traditional injury.
No.
Yeah, I look, for his sake, I hope he's able to regain the power in his leg that he's talking about. But don't you guys now think there is no chance he's playing for anybody by week 1? And now I'm wondering, even when we were discussing a month or so ago, hey, could he join a team in October or November? I mean, the way he's talking there, this is a guy that sounds like he may not play football this year.
It feels more like Tank Dell's injury at this juncture, and Tank's been out for almost 2 years.
So I would think that, and yet Nate Taylor, whose opinion we obviously respect significantly, said this on the morning show today.
I think they're going to wait for Tyreek Hill.
So, like, he openly says he still thinks there's a chance Tyreek ends up a Chief.
So they're willing to wait. Okay, but again, don't you think that's got to be at least late October, November?
Yeah, but do you know why this works? In the history of Brett Veach and the Chiefs, this is the same move they've made just free agency instead of draft. They have made at least 2 in-season trades for wide receivers. In the last 5 years, they traded for Kadarius Toney and they traded for DeAndre Hopkins. Mm-hmm. They've done this before. This is not new to them.
Those guys were healthy, though.
No, that's true. But they get their wide receiver unit, they decide it's not good enough, and then they try to shore things up in October, November. Well, Tyreek fits that bill. Except for this time, maybe don't have to give up the asset, and you can see how his leg is in Halloween, or maybe a little before, or whatever. But you can make those decisions. It's just hard to imagine that if you got no power in your left leg on July 23rd, you're going to be capable of playing football at the level in which
is he going to help your team?
You're accustomed to play. Is he going to still be fast?
Yeah, because if he is no longer that, then as much as the name is the name, and you're right, they have brought in wide receivers in the middle of the season before. He has to be capable of actually helping your team. You're not just bringing him in for old time's sake. So for him, yeah, I hope that over the next couple of months it gets better. But that injury occurred when, guys? Was that September? I think it was September of last year. Wasn't it against the Broncos, or was it? Yeah, was it Dolphins Broncos? It was end of September, I believe, was the injury. So it's almost been a year, but it hadn't even been a year yet. And his injury is different than the ACL injury, as you said, Drew, than Patrick Mahomes had, or LCL injury. This was a complete just destruction of his knee.
Yeah, and for all the ones that you remember for a number of years, right? Some of the more devastating ones that we've talked about, that usually in careers, he's not 20. Tank Dell's pretty young. Tyreek's in his 30s, not quite mid 30s, but he's up there at an age where I would wonder if this works. When I hear stories like that, I'm like, I just need to cross him off the list. Right?
I was saying, where are you at? I'm now convinced, and I'll gladly be wrong for his sake, but I don't think he's playing football this year. He could sign somewhere. I don't think he's on a football field producing for any team this year.
So the only
Maybe
thing
he
that gives
signs
me pause,
and goes on a pup list or something at some point this year.
The only thing that gives me pause is Nate Taylor.
Yeah.
Because if it weren't for that, I think I'd be on your side. I think I would just say I give it a 35% chance he plays this year.
I like less than 5%.
So I don't think he plays this year, but I think there's a 1 in 3 chance he does.
Yeah.
So I don't completely rule it out, but it's at the same time, it's I don't think that's got to be the favorite in the clubhouse either to be the thing that actually takes place. And if I'm the Chiefs, am I going to really, this is the thing that really bothers me about how they handle wide receiver. Every year, they do the same stupid thing, which is, we think our wide receivers are good enough, let's play it out. And then they're just throwing away draft picks on guys like Hopkins or Kadarius. And look, Kadarius, they won a Super Bowl, whatever. They probably don't care about it. But they should have spent a 3rd-round pick on him. They would have won the Super Bowl without him. I don't care that he had a nice play in the Super Bowl. Somebody else would have made his play instead, is my sense of it. But it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But it's I wouldn't upset the butterfly effect if you made me go back in time. But you can't tell me that a 3rd-round pick was good value on Kadarius Toney either. why not just make the move and shore up the position before you get to this point? Because it seems like their contingency is maybe we'll add Diggs, maybe we'll add Hill, maybe we'll trade again if we get into the season and Worthy and Rice and all the other guys behind him aren't enough. That just feels like a dangerous way to go into it. They're never, they haven't been sure about their wide receiver position since Tyreek Hill left. It hasn't stopped them from winning at times, but they haven't been sure about it since he left.
Yeah, there's questions, and we've gone over it a million times. Worthy, big time year 3. What is he? Is he just a guy in this league, or is there another level for him? Rashee Rice, I don't think the talent's the problem. We all know he's capable, in my opinion, of being well over 1,000 yards if he's on the field. Can he stay on the field, stay out of trouble? Can he stay healthy? And then after that, it's a complete wild card, to your point. Tyquan Thornton, we all liked Tyquan Thornton when he was playing in the first 6 weeks, and then they stopped using him. What happened there? And then after that, it is absolutely unknown after unknown after unknown, and Jalen Royals and Cyrus Allen and Nico Remigio and whoever else ends up making maybe the last wide receiver spot.
They really have dragged out I know that it's like wide receiver 5, but the fact that Nico Remigio is still in the conversation of, well, he's there on the depth chart still is like, man, this thing's been, they've been rotating, going to your point, Cody, they've been rotating around this group of wide receivers in the back end, it feels like, for multiple years now. Like they haven't really spent in one offseason, I suppose. Not necessarily that they haven't spent anything, as we've talked about before, but they've still got the guys hanging around at the end of the depth chart where it's like, when are they going to cycle those guys out eventually? Because they aren't seeing the field.
Yeah, and a lot of it is it's just so funny because it's just, I know that they have faith in the unit, and I think largely it's just because they know when Rashee Rice plays, Rashee Rice gets 10 targets, 80 yards. Like, he is a consistent wide receiver when available. Now, I'd say that that's the only wide receiver you can say that about. You can say it about Travis Kelce, too, who's essentially at least a good number 2 wide receiver, much better than most receiving tight ends, whatever. But it's like going into another year where they're like, well, we'll just solve it with Tyreek if we have to. And we're like, but what if his leg just never... Like, he's saying he's trying to get the strength back. And I imagine Tyreek probably thinks he'll get his strength back. What if he doesn't? What if your backup plan of, we'll call Tyreek in October is no good?
It does feel like they're banking on Rashee Rice being available for the entire year, because if something either happens or he gets injured, then Xavier Worthy's your 1, Tyquan Thornton's your 2, and then you don't even know who your 3 is. So you're going to be forced to have to play somebody who either didn't play at all last year or your rookie.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more what you said there than what Cody was saying. They're clearly banking on Rice and Worthy. That's their whole plan. I don't think their plan is, we're banking on Tyreek Hill showing up and being Tyreek Hill at some point this year. I push back on that. I think we, as fans, have talked about that. The Chiefs clearly maybe have some interest in Tyreek Hill. I don't think their plan is, we're going to be saved by Tyreek Hill midseason. Their plan is that Rashee Rice is going to be a top receiver for them, and that Xavier Worthy can take a leap forward. That's their plan. We can have questions about it, but like, that plan makes sense. I don't think they're sitting around saying Tyreek Hill's going to bail us out in November.
Yeah, I don't know, because I would say maybe, but at the same time, clearly they went into a lot of off seasons with questions at wide receiver and then later trying to fix them
but in
mid-season.
July they weren't like, but I get, yes, they have brought in receivers in the past, but what was it? It's been 3 years now, whatever. Like in July of that year, they brought in Tony. They weren't thinking, man, Kadarius Toney eventually is going to bail us out. They weren't thinking that DeAndre Hopkins in 4 months will just trade for him. Like we're making it seem like that they're just sitting around and hoping Tyreek Hill's going to save the day for them. I think that's not accurate.
That's their like break glass in case of emergency plan.
I think any receiver, though, if we're in November and there's an injury in the receiving room, or the defense is actually playing well and this team's in it, but they feel like they need a wide receiver, well, then we'll be whatever wide receiver we think's available. Who knows how the season's going to go? I'm talking via trade, right? Like whoever that wide receiver is, I don't know the name, or it's July. Then they might be interested in a wide receiver. I just don't think. Tyreek Hill, we mentioned him for obvious reasons, his ties to Kansas City and all that. I mean, we get it, but I don't think they're sitting here a day before training camp reports and saying, part of our entire plan is we're just going to sign Tyreek Hill in 4 months and we're going to be good in the wide receiver room. I don't believe that's their thought. That to me would be an added addition, like a nice positive if in fact he actually has the ability to play football still. We'll bring him in, but it's not going to be their season-saving type of signing for them.
No, but it's like, I think
they're not, like, we can have criticism about the organization. They're not stupid. They're not idiots.
No, but at the same time, they clearly are willing to risk a wide receiver unit that has a million questions. I think because they think in their back pocket. I think partially because they think in their back pocket they could call up Tyreek in October.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not like, I'm not saying that's the dumbest thought. It's been consistently the way they've operated in a lot of ways, where they've gone in just trusting the unit and then it's backfired and then they try to fix it mid-season.
Well, that part's true. I just disagree
on
on
receiver. Like you're saying they're pre-planning.
Yeah,
it.
like I agree with you that we all have questions about the wide receiver room. We all would have liked them to have drafted a wide receiver much higher than waiting until the fifth round.
yes.
For sure. I would Bink and I got into this was that Monday? Yeah, I guess on Monday. For the free agent market, other than Mike Evans, tell me what free agent wide receiver you really wanted to sign.
The draft was
you know
the
what I mean?
only real
It would have
choice,
been the draft. Now, next offseason is a completely different conversation. They were going to have to go free agency and draft or trade. They're going to have to do some serious things with the wide receiver.
There was a little bit of news. We'll get back to Royals and Chiefs, of course, and we've seen 1,000 top 10 quarterback list. We tend to put one together every year. It will be much better than at least half of them that you've seen.
I'm excited
because we won't have Lamar Jackson. But I know 5 of the quarterbacks we'll all have. I am curious which order we'll have. And then 6 through 10. I got no clue who you're going to go with. I got no clue who he's going to go with. I don't know if Drew just going to leave off Herbert because he doesn't win in the postseason, or you are.
He might leave off Joe Burrow. I don't know.
I don't know which way it's going to go.
Be real.
So we'll get to that in just about 10 minutes. But there appears to be the constant cycle in college basketball, and it works, honestly. There's a report that Melvin Council would like to return to Kansas next season. Now, you might say, didn't he just finish his senior season? Yes, he did finish his senior season. But there's a path, and there has been a path to sue the NCAA, say that the new rule that they're trying to get passed through the Save College Sports Act says you get 5 years. I'd like my 5th year. Take me on at Kansas. What surprised me more was some Kansas fans not wanting him back. Why?
Yeah, I don't get it.
He was the second best player on the team for a.
He'd be one of the few vets on the team, anyways, because they're so young.
Yeah, for a majority of the year, who's he taking playing time away from that you're worried about? Even if he's a 6th man, it makes sense.
If you're a Kansas fan, I think it'd be foolish to not want Melvin Council back. One, I think he can help this team win some basketball games. Most importantly, number two, we how many times last year, guys, we talk about in this day and age of NIL and all the transfers and who really wants to be at a school, who wants to play. He embraced KU more than any other player has in a very long time. Like, you could tell he genuinely liked playing there. Yeah. And the fan base and the student section and that relationship, you don't really see that in college sports anymore. It's just the nature of where we're at in collegiate sports. All those are two massive reasons why I think KU fans should want him back. And look, even if you tell me he serves a different role and he has to come off the bench and doesn't play as many minutes, you're telling me he can't help this team? My guess is they're going to do the Diego Pavia route. To your point, Cody, about
he's just going to sue.
Well, because he played 2 years at JUCO.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to make the argument that those shouldn't count, which is basically I'm obviously oversimplifying it, but that's kind of what happened with the Diego Pavia situation at Vanderbilt.
Which means he's only had 3 years at the NCAA level.
I think they'll win that case, and I think he'll be playing for KU this year.
I don't know if he'll win it or not. It does seem to me that the likelihood of if you go to court, you got like an 80% chance. Hell, the Sorsby one, he almost won his case, and he had legitimately no argument to win it. And even he made it a fight to go with it. The thing I thought is Melvin Council just seemed like a guy who legitimately liked being at the school, was a contributing member of the team, and seemed like was a Bill guy, like a hardworking, tough-nosed, kind of be-everywhere basketball player. And Drew's point is they are young. Kansas is young. And
they brought in a lot of true freshmen.
Yeah, and you and I have talked about this before, Gold. You and I both know that Bill Self's best teams aren't young. Bill Self's best teams played college basketball together pre-NIL, even though he's won a title in NIL, but that team was experienced too. And so if he could get a essentially 5th year senior, 2nd year in the program, I don't see that hurts. That guy played 34 minutes a game for him last year.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as icky as the guys that actually go pro, but essentially Melvin Council Jr. kind of has gone pro. Like, he signed a contract with the Pelicans.
But he hasn't actually played.
Feels
a little
he
different.
has played in the summer league, and he's got the contract, so it's not as icky as those guys. But he's already gone beyond the.
Yeah, his minutes are going to be his minutes will be reduced, and they should be reduced and all that. But he can serve a role for this team.
I am a little surprised that he didn't try to do this sooner.
Well, he did. Remember, he had he got the waiver denied
initially. I'm just surprised that he is I thought he would just follow up and just sue them immediately and deal with all this either before the draft or whatnot, Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
I wonder if he just like, you know how this works? Like he got around or he realized what kind of money he could make in college.
I mean, yeah,
what he's going to make in the
probably
G
sure.
League for the Pelicans. And look, I don't like Melvin Council's not going to be some 10-year NBA pro. He's likely maybe a G League guy or an overseas guy. Like he's not likely to be
make more money overseas than
it could be wrong. It could be wrong, but he's not likely to be some like long-term NBA guy. And so if someone's offering you $2 million to kick it in Lawrence with maybe better facilities than any G League team you'd play for, I don't know why the temptation would be pretty strong for me. I was getting kick it in college, $2 million.
Oh, I'm not knocking it for trying. I'm just surprised
where the
that
hell the Pelicans G League team is located.
I'm just surprised that he.
No idea, Cody.
Waited, I suppose.
What crap city do you think they're in?
Ooh,
they play at the Pontchartrain Center in Kenner, Louisiana.
The Lake Town Squadron is their name.
That sounds.
Is that like Western Louisiana near Texas border?
It's a suburb of New Orleans, so at least you're not too far from like a real city. But Kenner, Louisiana is where they play their games.
That's a funny name. The Lake Town Squadron.
And the Pontchartrain Center is what I'm sure there's a much more
Louisiana
way to say that.
Yeah. Obviously, as we know, Allen Fieldhouse, but many college basketball arenas are nicer than the Pontchartrain Center, I'm sure.
It's a great night to be a Tiger.
It looks like a
To be
strip
a Pelican.
It looks like a strip mall. It looks like one of those old. Do you remember the Walmart hypermarts? Yeah, it's like.
Wait, that's the arena?
Yeah.
Huh. It looks like a Great Wolf Lodge.
Looks like they're gonna go down a slide and
That's what it looks like.
I don't know. I'm sure it's a fine arena. It holds 4,600 people. If you're curious.
That's about right for. I mean, that's perfect size for a G League.
Yeah.
game. I mean, you're not going to draw more than that.
You'd probably rather play at Allen.
For sure.
Like I would rather play at Allen.
And again, the relationship he had with the fan base, even though we are saying there's a few people on social media maybe that don't, but with the student section and stuff, we really hadn't seen that with a college athlete and a fan base in a while just because of the movement. Remember, he started at JUCO and then St. Bonaventure and then came over. He was only at Kansas for 1 year, but that quickly he already was a guy that fans liked.
Look, if they were going to, they needed Darren Peterson to do it, but if they had had a better season, Melvin Council would have been a part of the reason why. I mean, he was, again, one of their more consistent players. Yeah. Like you said, even if he's like, his minutes go down to 26 minutes a game.
Yeah, and they need to go down. He wasn't as good down the stretch, so they need to go down, but he obviously made some big-time buckets for them in the middle of that college basketball season, especially when, as you said, Darren Peterson wasn't available, wasn't on the floor. Coming up next, guys, we will get to, as Drew said, something we're very excited about. Camp about to start. Let's go out and see how we view the quarterbacks in the NFL. Plus, we'll get to the trash of the day right here on Cody and Gold.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Bernier every Wednesday at 12:30. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
All right, maybe you think you know who's going yard today. FanDuel's giving you a free chance to prove your baseball expertise with Daily Dingers. Here's how it works. You're going to make your pick on who's hitting a home run. And if you're right, well, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a shot at extra winnings. Now, when your favorite superstar knocks it out of the park, it'll feel that much sweeter with Daily Dingers. It's free to play, and you can lock in a pick every day of the MLB season. Maybe you think Salvi breaks the record tonight in Detroit. That's why FanDuel is the home for home runs. If you're ready to play your game, make your first pick at FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local to play Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer today. FanDuel is an official partner of the MLB and 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Is anyone paying attention to rural Kansas? Everything costs way too much, and the politicians in Topeka keep siding with big tech and give a thumbs up to these massive data centers. We need someone who will fight for our farmers and ranchers and all the working people of Kansas. Vicki Schmidt is running for governor. She's the insurance commissioner who is laser focused on lowering costs and taking a stand against these out-of-state tech companies. Vicki's running mate is Joe Newland. He's the former Kansas Farm Bureau president who has spent his career farming himself and advocating for our rural communities. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland will fight tirelessly to protect our land, water, and way of life. That's why the Kansas Farm Bureau has endorsed Vicki and Joe. Finally, someone who has our back. Vicki Schmidt and Joe Newland for governor and lieutenant governor. Defend US PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Dustin McIntyre, Treasurer. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. DefendUSPAC.us.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize! Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Kansas City storms can leave behind roof damage you can't always see. Hail and high winds may have compromised your roof, even if everything looks fine from the ground. That's why Century Roofing offers a free roof inspection and handles the insurance process from start to finish. For over 36 years and more than 36,000 roofs installed, homeowners have trusted Century Roofing. Voted best roofing company in Johnson County for 5 years straight and best in Kansas City 2 years in a row. KC-based and female-owned. Visit CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal block.
Manager Matt Quattrero is attending to a personal matter, is not with the team in Detroit today. We expect him back soon. Paul Hoover will serve as manager. Vance Wilson will move to bench coach. Jose Alguacil will as third base coach until Q returns. We obviously don't know any more information than that. Our thoughts with Q and whatever he is dealing with, the family matter, personal matter, as they're calling it. So we don't know any more than that. So hopefully, hopefully everything's all right.
From what I've heard, but yeah,
for Matt Quattrero and his family, if the personal matter that he needs to be away for a couple of days. You and I looked it up. I think in 2024 he had a personal matter or absence.
He missed for his mom's memorial service, and Paul Hoover took over. So this is not the first time Hoover's been the acting manager for the Royals. He did it for a few games in September of 2024. So he's his bench coach. That's not surprising, like you had mentioned that would be the case. But
all the best to him, though.
Honestly, to my all my understanding is it's something private, and he plans on keeping it that way. And so hopefully he's back with the team in a couple of games. But he could be gone for a few games attending to that.
Yeah, Royals begin a series tonight in Detroit, 5:40, first pitch right here on 96.5 The Fan. That means Vern's on deck show is at 4:30. Vern will join us at 12:30 today.
So, yeah.
Dobnik on the mound for the Royals.
Boy, the pitching's bleak. I'm still mad I didn't win that bet yesterday. It's so silly, but
Vern said, because I ran pregame, Vern said you're lapping the field right now anyways.
Really?
Yes.
But that was a plus 278er, Drew. I could have gotten another one.
Yeah,
I felt so good on that one yesterday.
According to Vern, you are lapping the field right now.
Trying to get another W.
We're going to have to sort some things out with Vern at 12:30 anyway. So
with your fists?
Yeah, it's gold. I don't want to fight gold. I love gold, but I think I could handle gold.
Okay.
We'll talk to Vern at 12:30. Coming up with there. But you had mentioned it, and we had decided it's not really fair to just crush people's quarterback list like you dumbass, unless we are willing to put our own name to it and stick our own quarterbacks together. So all three of us put together our top 10 lists.
Oh, boy.
And we will go over them now. Can I start with, do we have these 5 quarterbacks in the top 5 before we get any further?
Okay.
Are Mahomes, Allen, Stafford, Burrow, and Lamar Jackson all in your top 5?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Let's talk order. We can start there.
We're not idiots.
Because look, I think any list that doesn't,
that's debatable. I'm not sure. That's debatable.
With different things, we can certainly have an argument. But I at least wanted to make sure that those were in the top 5 so we can discuss 1 through 5 before we get through 6 through 10. This is my order, and then I'll hear yours out and we can negotiate who we think is right or wrong. Right. I have Patrick Mahomes 1, Josh Allen 2, Matt Stafford 3, Joe Burrow 4, and Lamar Jackson 5.
You're just like the anonymous NFL executives then.
Why is that crazy?
Put their name on it.
You and I have the same top 5.
Really?
Oh, my top
After
5 is
all
different.
I have Mahomes 1, Allen 2, Stafford 3, Burrow 4, Lamar 5. The one I almost flipped. I almost put Lamar, and I was very close to putting Lamar 4 and Joe Burrow down to 5.
The only one that I have the same as you guys is Lamar Jackson at 5.
Okay.
What's your 2, 3, and 4 then?
Oh,
Burrow 2?
And 1.
And 1. Oh, here we go. All right.
Number 1 quarterback entering the 2026 season
Better be
is
Josh Allen.
Matt Stafford.
Oh, okay. That's actually somehow less offensive.
Patrick Mahomes is at 2.
Okay.
Joe Burrow is at 3. and
of
Josh
course.
Allen is at 4.
You got Matt Stafford as the best quarterback in the NFL?
I got Matt Stafford as the best quarterback.
That's not
in
the
NFL
issue. The
right
issue is we know Drew's stance on Josh Allen. He's a hater. He's a hater.
He is a hater on Josh Allen. That's been a
now.
long established fact.
I think some of it is look what he's done, particularly last year and in the playoffs.
What has Joe Burrow done recently? He can't even make the playoffs.
Last time he made the playoffs was 2022. It's 2026.
I think you guys really get hung up on the playoff sort of thing. When I'm looking at how good of a quarterback were you sort of thing.
I know, but over that time, Josh Allen's been a better quarterback than Joe Burrow, right? Statistically,
last year he was not very good and single-handedly cost his team a playoff game. But
Joe Burrow played in 8 games last year. He was worse.
So Josh Allen was not nearly as good last year as he had been, and certainly in the postseason.
That's part of the reason why he's at 4 for me.
I can't downgrade Josh Allen for a blunder in an AFC divisional round game and then give Joe Burrow credit for not being in the playoffs for 3 years.
Yeah. It's like,
that's my issue with it.
But it's not making the playoffs for me. How good of a quarterback are you? I almost don't even care that you make the playoffs or you don't as much as how good of a quarterback
quarterbacks
are you.
We're ranking quarterbacks.
But in the last 3 years,
we are ranking quarterbacks.
The best
We're not ranking playoff quarterbacks.
The best
Brock Purdy would be in there.
The best quarterbacks are consistently in the playoffs, though, in the NFL. Or if you have a one-off year, you don't miss 3 in a row.
Joe, I don't disagree with you.
Then Joe Burrow shouldn't be in there then. Joe Burrow should not be in your top 5. If it's that much of a deal, then Joe Burrow should not be in your top 5.
So now you're taking to the extreme.
It's not just playoffs for me. Playoffs matter when I'm ranking these things out. I'll be honest, even more than the playoff thing, the thing that I think, and the playoff thing does hurt Burrow, his inability to stay healthy. Like, we knock Lamar for it a lot. We do not mock Burrow on these lists nearly as much for it, even though, like, they've missed I imagine
that's because when he's healthy, he's a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson is.
And look, I have Joe Burrow ahead of Lamar. And again, I'm not. I have my issue is more how far down you have Josh. I have Burrow 4. So as much as you think I am being a hater, I have him 4th on the list. I think it's a very fair spot for Joe Burrow, and I have him ahead of Lamar Jackson. I almost flipped the 2. All right, how about 6 through 10? Here's where I'm guessing we're all going to be.
I'm guessing it's not going to feel the same.
So at 6, I got Dak Prescott.
Okay.
Drake May is 7. Jared Goff, 8. That was where it was tough. I wanted to move him further down, but then I was like, what am I going to do with Herbert? I have Herbert 9. I almost kicked him out of the top 10 altogether. I have Caleb Williams 10. Yeah, I do not have Jalen Hurts. I don't have Jalen Hurts because I don't, despite this goes to what Drew and I were just debating for a second. Obviously, Jalen Hurts has a ring and has been a Super Bowl MVP. I don't think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than those 10 guys.
So We definitely don't have the same list. And we might be haters a little. I don't have Jalen Hurts. The people be surprised I don't have the list. I don't have Jalen Hurts on my list. I don't have Jared Goff on my list. I don't have Brock Purdy on my list.
All right.
In my mind, those are not top 10 quarterbacks. Purdy's the one that surprises me is so uniformly on so many top 10 lists because I don't necessarily see it. So I guess I thought it is. So at number 6 is Drake May. He was an MVP candidate last year. He did it with almost no weapons. He seems like a more secure bet than even Caleb Williams to me because he's already reached that high level of play and he's been in the league a few years in a row. I'm trying to learn a lesson from the Jaden Daniels thing where we all put him at 9 or 10, in the top 10 after that first year. And so I don't want to do that with Caleb Williams yet. I have Justin Herbert 7. I don't even feel good about it. I just realized how mediocre some of the quarterback play is. Dak Prescott 8, Sam Darnold 9, and Jordan Love 10.
The one I really struggled that I wanted to put in, I almost put Baker Mayfield at 10, but he started off great last year and then he really faded.
I will say Darnold was the one that I think people would take the most argument with, which is more than fair. Because Darnold's, if I take in the entirety of his career, it's like, how the hell could that guy be a top 10 quarterback? But over the last 2 seasons, he has been one of the most consistent guys in the NFL. He's got 28 regular season wins. He's averaging 4,200 yards a season. He's averaging 30 touchdowns a season. He's won a Super Bowl. And, again, while the playoff success is not the only thing, I'm sure as hell not giving the spot to Brock Purdy over him. Jalen Hurts would be an argument, but I just don't like the way he plays quarterback. He doesn't look good when he does it.
If I extended it out past 10, my next three would have been Darnold 11, Hurts 11, Darnold 12, Baker 13. That would have been my next. Those would have been my next couple.
Darnold's not crazy on that end.
Drew, where's your 6 through 10?
Goff was the one that I tried to talk myself into, but I just couldn't do it.
So I've got Dak Prescott at 6. I've got Drake May at 7. Jordan Love at 8, Caleb Williams at 9, and Sam Darnold at 10.
Okay. So you have Darnold. You guys both have Caleb Williams.
Yep.
I think when we do this list again next year, I think we're all having Caleb Williams in the top 8.
I wouldn't be surprised by it, but can I point out something that we seemingly are ignoring him? He has put up no big numbers yet. If you're going to be a top 10 quarterback, I'd like one season of 4,030. And maybe he will get that this year. There's no doubt that he's certainly capable of it.
Still, how many? I mean. In fairness to him, this is still only his third year in the league we're about to talk about.
Sure, but he's 2 seasons in, and all the other guys we're mentioning, Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, those guys have had bigger statistical seasons than what so far Caleb was put up, and what is supposed to be a really functional offense for him and a better roster than some of these guys maybe had inherited somewhere along the way. Brock Purdy in his second season threw 4,300 yards and 31 touchdowns. So, his second year in the league is better than Caleb Williams' second year in the league. Because Caleb Williams isn't a 1,000-yard rusher. He's not that type of runner. He's more like Mahomes in the total yardage in which he puts up. And so, it's not like Caleb's going to be way down the list on me. But I feel like I just want to see it still. I don't know.
To me,
I'm waiting for the big
some
year.
of it, I think, it feels like Caleb Williams does more with less than you look at. I mean, Jared Goff had Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs and JMO.
But as a result of that, he put up better numbers.
I agree with that.
600 more yards and 7 more touchdowns with less interceptions.
I know, but I think he's a product of the system more where Caleb Williams has more talent. It's just that he's playing with less. And also, the one big thing knock against Caleb Williams is the completion percentage. He only had a 58% completion percentage last year and still almost put up 4,000. So his playmaking ability in the playoffs, I feel like he's worthy of being a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, Goff is definitely one that I had at 11, and I probably should have had in the top 10. And some of it might just be the age or the fact that he hasn't been able to get over the hump in the playoffs here more lately. And it's been a difficult NFC, so I don't want to make it seem like that. He's probably the guy I should have made the argument for. It also concerns me that Caleb Williams, kind of like Bryce Young, completed less than 60% of his passes last year. And there's just a part of that where, that's just got to get better. He's great at the highlight play. I'm not so sure he's great at the everyday play.
If it does get better, though, if he has 65% completion percentage, those numbers are going to go through the roof.
They will.
He'll have over 4,500. He'll be in top 5 conversations potentially if it gets to that point.
Yeah, that's why I said I did not. And that's why I think I'm with Drew on the Caleb Williams. I think this time next year, we're all going to at least have him top 8. No, Jordan Love, he fell way back on my list.
He had a down.
The only one that I guess you could argue with me on is should I have Love 13 instead of Baker if we go past 11, 12, 13 again was Hurts, Darnold, Baker for me. Maybe I should have had Jordan Love in front of Baker. Baker was on an MVP path for 6 weeks, then got hurt, and then was okay the rest of the way. He was putting up MVP numbers the first month and a half of the season.
Yeah.
This list, too, I think we all realize this 6 through 10. After the top 5, there's a lot of quarterbacks.
Any argument.
Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks in the same grouping. I mean, I struggled with even wanting to put Herbert 9. I was like, but I'm also like, who am I putting above him? Despite the criticism that's warranted, like, who am I putting above him? Jared Goff at 8. Like, if I don't have Jared Goff at 8, I was going to put Herbert in front of him. No, I can't do
Trevor
that.
Lawrence,
I'm going to put Caleb Williams.
Hurts. It's like, and then you have to parse out like hardware versus what you just see when you watch them play quarterback. That's how I ended up with Love.
Well, that's why Hurts is 11 for me. If I did hardware, Hurts would still be 5 or 6 on my list.
Yeah, he had to be above May. The only guy I'm surprised is I thought one of us would have May a little lower. I thought one of us would have.
I had him 7. Where did you have him?
6.
I had him 7 too.
Okay, so we're all.
I mean, none of us. I just thought I thought he might be off someone's list altogether. But again, he's put up like this goes back to the Caleb Williams thing. Like they were both in their second seasons, and Drake May put up 500 more yards and more touchdowns and less interceptions and completed 14% more passes. And look, we weren't arguing May versus Williams. Although if you were starting a franchise right now, which one would you choose? Based on our rankings, we'd all say May.
Yeah.
Like if you had to choose a quarterback to start a franchise with, we all
based
take
on our
May?
list, everybody has to answer May.
Yeah.
I mean, based on our list.
That's also different because like they're the same age. Because if I do that list, well then I'm taking a lot of other guys before I, take a 31-year-old Darnold or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Someone said, who are our bottom 4 quarterbacks? We did not do a bottom 4, but Geno Smith would be in the bottom 4. Deshaun Watson, assuming he's the starter.
He's last, dead last.
Who am I missing? Jacoby Brissett would probably still be down there.
Oh yeah, I forgot he existed.
Kirk Cousins, if he's starting week 1.
Now you're gonna make me look through it.
That's just quick top of my head. I don't know. I'm missing somebody.
Who's starting for the Jets? It's always got to be
Geno. That's Geno. That's
okay. Geno then.
Tua or Penix maybe. I don't know if you pick him that low.
Now Tua's ahead of like some of the other guys we just mentioned.
Jackson Dart.
Dart's
Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward's ahead of some of those guys.
I think I'll stick with the 3 or 4 I mentioned, I guess. I'll stick with those. Kirk Cousins,
Brissett.
Deshaun Watson, Brissett, and Geno Smith.
Yeah. Oh, no. Shadur Sanders. Did you mention him?
But I think, I think Deshaun's going to start. But
Fine,
yes,
but
either.
Whoever the Brown starter is.
Whoever the Brown, there you go. Whoever
Honestly,
the Brown starter is.
it doesn't even matter who it is. That's probably one. Like, worst quarterback in the NFL, whoever starts for the Cleveland Browns. And this is every year. Second worst, whoever starts for the New York Jets. Just pencil me in for the next 4 years. Is that my answer somehow? It doesn't even matter who the actual list is. Somehow that's how it all plays itself out. And Malik Willis should probably get like honorable mention. It's not like he's done anything.
I put him ahead of Geno at this point now.
But it's
not by much. But
yeah, Geno's had more success, but it's just like the upside part, right? You're just banking on it. Who was the worst starter last year? Who started a game? Was it Chris Oladokun? Do you think if they ranked out every single person who started a game for a team last year, Quinn Ewers was not good in Miami. I remember him starting a couple of ugly ones.
I mean, yeah, Oladokun is in the mix.
I don't know, man. I had to watch Jared Stidham start that AFC title game, and that about sent me. That wasn't a regular season game. That was pretty bad. I don't know how you end up with that bad of a backup.
I mean, Aiden O'Connell played a little bit, didn't he? Joe Milton, Kenny Pickett.
Joe Milton got in a game last year?
Wow, it was 15-24 for 183 yards.
Well, that's way better than anything Oladokun ever put up. It looks like Josh Johnson made a start last year. Is that right?
Oh, I have the answer. The guy in Minnesota, not McCarthy, not Drew's guy. Max Brosmer. That guy was awful.
Yeah, that was
Max
tough.
Brosmer was he was. That's the answer. He was the worst quarterback in football last year. He was awful.
I forgot he
Max
even started a
Brosmer.
game.
Yeah, that's the guy. He started multiple games.
He started 7 games.
He was horrendous. He was horrendous for them.
Wait, he started 2 games.
He was 47 of 71, which is 66% completion percentage. 4 interceptions, no touchdowns, 328 yards passing. They had nothing going on offense. He was awful.
Did Chris Oladokun get a touchdown in his career, though? Oladokun was worse. He threw a touchdown and no picks. He threw the ball 55 times in his 2 starts. Andy, man. Andy loves a pass.
Oladokun, 63%.
They let Oladokun step back here and rip it 55 times.
The McNabb stat, Cody, that you brought up. That's the stat you need to bring up.
Oladokun finished with a 14.9 QBR last year.
Oh, my goodness.
14.9.
Yeah, that might be.
55 times and only threw for 235 yards. Do you know how hard that is?
Yeah, man, that's tough.
No picks, though. Careful with the ball, He
Mm.
was careful with it, Gold. That's got to count for something.
Did he throw for a touchdown?
He had 1 touchdown and no picks.
Hey, the TD
That's
to
better than
interception
Brosmer.
ratio.
He got
Let's
a touchdown,
go.
yeah.
Brosmer did not throw a touchdown.
He took care of it. Plus, I imagine he was a better runner. Anybody remember?
Yeah, he definitely ran the ball a good amount.
Not as much as I thought. 18 yards total.
Maybe
I want
he was running for his life. Instead, it seemed like it.
Genuinely, my hope for this season is that it's good enough. Like, it doesn't even have, like, I would like the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. I need this season to be good enough to erase any memory I have of last year. Can it be good enough and competitive enough and fight enough that I don't have to ever think about what the hell happened to the Chiefs team last year?
What has to happen for that to happen? Is it a playoff appearance? Is it a playoff win? I think it's a playoff win.
At least divisional round.
I think it's a playoff win before you can be like, all right, last year was complete fluke, doesn't matter anymore, all that. If this team were to make the playoffs and lose in the first game, I think people would think the two are connected still and that this team is obviously not getting right back to where everybody thought they could. I think a playoff win is required for that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I think at least divisional round with a playoff win. That would make me forget. That would make me like, oh, they're back on track. Things are looking up again.
I know it's a while, but I'm looking ahead. When are we gonna do like our hot take that we have for the season?
Oh, we can
like the week
for maybe the week before
for the season or for probably a week of
the season
heading into week 1.
Okay,
yeah,
because I've got a couple I'm tallying up
for the Chiefs or just in the
NFL. One of them is for the Chiefs. Yes.
Okay.
It involves another team though, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does.
That's so like vague.
Yeah.
I can't be sure.
We'll get to that in a month.
I can't be sure I understand.
I've got a hot take. I'll tell you in a month.
I can tell it to you now.
Hell of a tease.
I mean, you do whatever you want, man. You do whatever you want to do.
You just have to come up with a new hot take when we do the topic. We don't always do hot takes either. We do bold predictions, maybe.
The Kansas City Chiefs will have the same record this year as the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's good or bad, but I think they have the same record as the Pittsburgh Steelers this year.
Well, my guess is you're not high on the Steelers, so you're thinking they're going to win like 9 games is what I would take out of that comment.
I think the Steelers are going to win 5.
What?
I think people have
I think the Steelers.
Okay. Yeah.
I still
6.
think. See, I still like the over on the Steelers. I think the Steelers are going to find a way to still win 10 games this year.
No, I think that.
So do I.
I think people forget that like no other coach has ever done that except for Tomlin, and it's about to be a rude wake up call.
I do think
they're going to win like 6 games.
Before we get to the trash, I do think legitimately this is part of the reason why Aaron Rodgers meeting back with his family again and hanging out with his family again is a massive reason why I think I'm actually higher on the Steelers.
I think the hate fueled Aaron Rodgers. I actually think it hurts him. He's opened up his heart to love again. No, that's going to.
You think so?
Him. Yeah.
Jeez,
he's fueled by hate.
You think
he loves hate? He's fueled by the negativity. He was winning Super Bowls when he wasn't talking to his family.
Yeah.
Just now he's going to talk to his family. He's going to solve all his problems. I don't think so. That was a nice story, though, by the way, as a side note.
Yeah, it's nice to see he's talking to his parents.
It was good to see.
I mean, I think that's
that's
always good. I don't care who you are. Like, yeah, you have a relationship with your parents. I think is very important or whatever. So I'm glad to see that that he did that. I also think he's realizing that his football career is about to be over, and so like, hey, what's the next? Like, why would I'm not going to have a relationship with my family post playing career? That's just
I'm going to be 45 and retired and just have no family left. I agree. That does seem crazy.
All right, let's get to it.
Trash of the day.
All right, this one we actually saw a day or so ago. We didn't get to it yesterday during Trash of the Day. We found out, unfortunately, there was like a sad ending to it as well. But initially, there was a 911 call in New Mexico where a bear climbed on top of an electric pole.
I'm on Highway 56.
Are you calling about a bear?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it's on the power pole.
Yeah, it's alive.
Yes. Just leave it be.
Okay.
And I already called the Game and Fish, and they said there's nothing that they could do. They could go and shoot it, tranquilize it to get it down, but it's gonna end up. If they do that, then it's gonna fall and could hurt itself.
So clearly, other people had already called in because she's like, "Is this about it?" She's like, "Is this about a bear on a power pole?" Oh yeah, about that. Just leave it. Nothing we can do. But the sad turn on this was wildlife officials did end up showing up. They feared sedating the animal could cause a fatal flaw, but the bear, before rescuers could reach it, ultimately was killed by an electrical shock.
Oh, so it died?
Yeah.
Like, why did they? Like, also saying just leave it. What do you think I was gonna do?
The video's unbelievable, but just
shake
chill
the
on the
light
top.
bulb and try to get it down?
Just chill on the top there.
How did it get up there? I know bears are good climbers. That's crazy.
They said, again, if they would have tried to sedate the bear, it would fall from the height and die from the impact, but ended up dying from being electrocuted before a safe rescue operation could be carried out.
I don't think I'd be a very good 911 operator. That lady is very calm. Oh, you calling about the bear? Yeah, we're aware. Just go ahead and leave it alone. We'll see you next time. I know it's her job to be calm. Do you think you'd be good as a 911 operator?
No.
I think I would just instant energy match, and that's not what anybody needs in that situation.
Well, you'd be yelling, you'd be screaming at the person.
Ma'am! Where are you?
You have to be very calm. You'd start screaming and yelling. You're like, someone on the other line would be screaming and yelling, saying so-and-so is not breathing or whatever, and you'd start being like, what do you mean he's not breathing?
It would not be a good job.
Instead of being like, all right, remain calm. Yeah, no, that's a tough job. Anybody that's a 911 operator out there, props to you. I don't know how you do it, handling that situation.
Do you think I could become one if I wanted to? Is that like a job
if you wanted to? Yeah, you go through proper training and everything. Yeah.
Say I'm cool under pressure, or what kind of things do you look for?
I think you would hate it.
Oh, I wouldn't like it. I think that's probably accurate. Also, it would just be like, talk about like going home at the end of a long day and you just had to take. Because some of those calls are meaningless, but some of them are probably awful.
Yeah, that'd be a very stressful.
Says clean criminal record is required.
Well, you and the guy that jumped into the fountain to get a baseball can't apply.
Competent typist, too, it says. Oh, 35 to 45 words per minute? That's nothing. That can be handled. I thought it was going to say like 80 words a minute. I thought I was going to have to like really be typing. So just put them on hold and play JAC while they wait.
Put them on hold? I don't think you can. As a 911 operator, I don't think you can put people on hold.
Are you sure?
They're start on hold like they're waiting for the call, but once you're on the line with them, I don't think they're putting you on hold.
They're like, hold on, I got a
more
serious
it might take
one.
a second to connect, but once you're on with the operator, I don't think they're going to be like, oh wait, you said so-and-so's having a heart attack? Oh, just 1 second. Let me put you on hold. I don't think that's how that works. Now they might transfer you on to somebody else. Like, hey, so-and-so from fire and whatever is now on the line with you.
I don't think they put you on hold if you're in a real emergency, but if you're just calling about something that's not like actively worried about, they might put you on hold. They got to work through every single call?
Yes, I'm at a Morgan Wallen concert. I just got urinated on. Okay, let me put you on hold real quick. Hold on. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, hey, is anybody hurt? No, we're not hurt. Like, all right, just give me a second. There's also like a non-emergency line for that maybe, but maybe people don't realize that. You think it could be a transfer situation, not an actual hold.
Yeah. I mean, I've only had a call, fortunately, 911 a few times in my life, ever. So
I've never called 911.
I had to, about 3 months ago, witness an accident at the intersection right by my apartment. And, like, I saw the accident as it was happening, and one car veered off into a light pole and the other one into the grass. So me and another guy quickly got out of our car to, like, check on the people. And I was the person that, like, called 911 to report the accident.
I've never had to call
because the airbags were deployed in this person's car. This was, like, 3 months ago.
In fairness, it's like even when, so I've witnessed a couple of car crashes. You might remember the one where I was late to our bartending out because I saw him right.
Remember that? Yeah.
Drunk driver hit somebody.
Yeah.
I just called like the sheriff's department. I didn't even call like 911. I just like rang up like the
non-emergency line.
Yeah. Even though, I mean, I guess it could have qualified as emergency, but everyone was like, no one was like bleeding from the head or anything. So I just called the regular line. I don't know.
Now, this guy needed medical attention. Like, the airbag was deployed, and he was talking about, like, he was not, like,
dazed.
He was not, well, yeah, and he was not, like, his neck hurt. He wasn't moving. Like, he was awake, but.
You need, like, actual.
Someone says dialing 911 is an adrenaline rush. Yeah, I'll admit, my heart was racing a little bit, even though I wasn't in the accident. Yeah, that's true. Someone on the text line from Cody said, he's not breathing, Cody. Does he have a trailer for sale?
They're down to $30K on that thing. I'm waiting him out.
Wait him out. Wait him out on that.
That thing's getting down to $5K. I can assure you. Mm-hmm. They got no buyers but me. And so I'm just going to keep waiting till that price is in a range in which it makes sense.
All right, that's the trash of the day. Up next, Chiefs Red Half Hour. Let's talk more about who could potentially reach this milestone this year for the Chiefs on the defensive side of the ball. And we'll get right back into how nationally there seems to be a consistent narrative about the Chiefs.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health. the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
$30 million in guaranteed prizes you can cash in this football season out in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with zero rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere, $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for detail.
You know that weird smell your AC makes when you turn it on? Ooh, you really shouldn't. Luckily, you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com. If you miss being able to finish a road trip playlist on a road trip, we can help. Just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
Trained to push past the pain, not athletes, just people, men, women, and children who are trafficked every day in communities across the United States, sometimes by someone they trusted, sometimes by their own family. While millions watched the World Cup, they're fighting to survive in silence. Blue Campaign continues harnessing the global energy of the World Cup to help raise awareness and break the silence of human trafficking. Get informed. Visit bluecampaign.gov/World Cup to learn the facts, end the misconceptions, and start the conversation. That's bluecampaign.gov/World Cup.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
When your AC starts breaking down, AB May is here to help your house feel like a home again. Serving Kansas City for over 65 years, AB May handles it all from AC repairs and upgrades to indoor air quality. When it comes to your home, solved is our standard. And AB May is committed to doing things the right way every time. Trusted by generations. Call AB May at 913-383-2222 or visit abmay.com today.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, I'm Carter.
And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out.
Leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. nope. That's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever. Now with odor fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Marcel Delane from the Kansas City Chiefs, and welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day at 11:30 on Cody and Gold on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour here on Cody and Gold. Again, we're going to be up in St. Joe starting on Monday, broadcasting live, the only show, the only station broadcasting from Chiefs camp. 15 shows up there. I'm sure we'll have a chance to check in with Mansour Delane. We think we'll have about 14, 15 different players stop by throughout our time up in St. Joe beginning on Monday. Hope to see you guys up there later in the week. Monday, not open to fans, but then later in the week, Wednesday, we'll be back up there, and season ticket holder day. And then, of course, after that, it opens up to the public. You do have to go to, Chiefs.com and reserve or whatever, a ticket. Same thing they've been doing for years up there and always have great attendance. And it's going to be perfect weather, you know? It's going to be just nice and cool for everybody to watch some football.
It's like 98 or something the high on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hot for that first week, so prepare accordingly. And it's always just one of those, like, mostly my goal for training camp is get out healthy. Like I saw
for you,
the Panthers.
For you to get out healthy, that's your
everybody.
goal? You're just trying to get, you personally, you're just trying to get out healthy.
Me and the rest of the team. I saw the Panthers' Nick Scorton got carted off today. Said he couldn't put any pressure on his leg.
The Panthers already have some devastating
They're missing
injuries.
their left and right tackles, aren't they?
Both tackles. Yeah. One's recovering from a patella tendon injury from January or something in the playoffs, I think. And then another tackle just got hurt. I want to say not hurt, but I think he has blood clots or something. And then
so he's gonna miss
Gordon, as you said, is dealing with an injury now. We don't know to the full extent.
They made it sound like it was looking
carted
serious.
off is never a good thing.
Carted off, couldn't put any weight on it, crying in the thing. It happens.
Reminder, though, as we get into training camp season next week, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on this show, there's a big difference between being carted off and being in the front of the cart and the back of the cart. It's always the language. It always causes a whole problem. People are like, oh, so-and-so's getting carted up the hill. Well, if he's in the front of the cart, it's all good. You know, if he's in the back of the cart, that's obviously a problem. Anyway, one of the players, or a couple players we'll be keeping an eye on at camp next week, beginning with the defensive line, will be George Karlaftis and Chris Jones.
Karlaftis guy's coming off an injury.
Yeah, he's coming off a hand injury. Disappointing year. Chris Jones, I would say a disappointing year as well. He's a year older, massive cap hit. But if this defense and this defensive line is going to work, we can talk all we want about Gelati and Omar Norman Lott, R. Mason Thomas, and what we're hoping to see from them if somebody emerges, or is it going to truly just be a rotation? But deep down, for this defense to work, one of those guys has to probably be a double-digit sack guy, or they have to both be like 9 sack guys next year. Otherwise, I don't even know if it matters all that much what Gelati does. Truly, like Gelati's not taking a leap and becoming a 10 sack guy. With all due respect to him, so you know if he became a 4 or 5 sack guy, that's a massive win for this team.
Yeah, they're like a Mike Dana. I want somebody to just turn into Mike Dana from a couple of years ago.
But where their money is allocated. And what you expect, Karlaftis and Chris Jones obviously have to be the 2 sack guys for this team. And between the two at this stage of their career, who do you actually think is more likely to get to 10 sacks?
So obviously, if you go through the entirety of their careers, the answer is Chris Jones, who has done it 3 separate times. Now, that's 3 times in 10 years, so only a 30% rate. George Karlaftis has done it once. He got to 10.5 sacks a couple of years ago. I think the answer is pretty clearly, at this point, George Karlaftis.
You think so?
And so, like, I don't know that the 10 sack seasons, although they're not that far removed, 2023 and 2022. So it was 2 and 3 years ago that he was able to do it. And he had 7 last year with no help. I just think George Karlaftis is more consistent than we want to give credit for when he's fully healthy. It's not surprising to me that he had 10.5 sacks, then 8 a year ago, in which I thought, yeah, he could have done a little bit better, but the pass rush wasn't all that good, but the pressure rate was okay. and then it fell back in an injury-shortened year. I actually think it's Karlaftis, even though he has consistently not done it as much. He's done it 25% of the time in his career. I like him better for it.
Yeah, look, he's the younger player. How much do we weigh the injury in this? I get your point. I still think it's Chris Jones because a healthy offseason, more rested. He's also going to be the beneficiary, I think, finally, of having somebody alongside him in the interior that can be a disruptor, whether you believe that's going to be Tonga, I do early in the year, and eventually Peter Woods, a rotation of the two, maybe. We'll see what that's going to fully look like as we get to camp and everything. I think that will bode very well for Chris Jones. It'll allow him some more flexibility,
should help
a little
him.
less attention. But I think for a player at his age who just turned, 32, this month, 3 weeks ago or whatever, the offseason, not having all the playoff games and all that kind of stuff that he's been dealing with, I do think that bodes well for Chris Jones. Now, I think more for him to get to 10 sacks, he better get a couple of those early. This is not, I don't think late in the season he's going to suddenly have 3 sacks and get 7 sacks in the final 6 weeks. I think this is, going into the bye week, Cody, I think he needs to have 3 sacks.
If you look at, for
2.5 sacks.
What's interesting about George Karlaftis is you can pretty clearly tell the line. When they said he got hurt, he got 1 sack the rest of the season. The other ones he had were all early in the year before he hurt his hand. And so, once he lost that leverage, turns out, didn't have any sack stuff. Chris Jones was all over the place. He had 7 total sacks last year. 3 in the final 2 games. 2 against the Raiders in that absolute miserable final game that nobody wanted to be at, and 1 against Denver in the second to last week. He actually only had 1 sack through 6 weeks. He only had 2 sacks through 9 weeks. So, it was a slow start for Chris Jones before eventually he turned it on. So, to your point, that means he does need to get more early on. But it's okay, so Chris Jones got some late. He'll get some early. No big deal. I think for Karlaftis, and I think sometimes it's kind of weird that we say we can't use injury as an excuse. Injury is a great excuse for why someone didn't perform well. It explains so much about someone's performance sometimes. They're not fast enough. They're not strong enough. He legitimately had all 5 of his sacks through 9 weeks of the season, hurt his hand in that game reportedly, played with a broken wrist and a hurt pec the rest of the season, and only managed to get 1. So he had 5 through 9 games. Extrapolate that out, it's 10. That's close to. It's not quite. It's coming up short, but it's 8.5 or 9. And so, I think he would have gotten to close to that number last year had he just been healthy, and he was a much worse player after that. That's about when the team fell apart, too. And look, they faced some good offensive lines, so maybe that was a portion of it. But they weren't all world beaters, and he couldn't get anything done the rest of the way. 913-586-7965. Someone says, I personally think George is not good. Too slow to get to the quarterback. He does have a motor, and he does have a motor, doesn't give up. He's just not quick. I'm not here to tell you that George Karlaftis is the best sack guy in the NFL. But he's not bad. That part always gets me a little bit, right? You don't think that he's a bad.
No, there's a demarcation between him.
He's a pretty good NFL defensive end.
There's a demarcation between him and the elite guys. He's in that next tier. He's capable of having a 9 to 10 sack season. I think a couple of them. But we already had this conversation a couple years ago. Was he going to take the leap to turn into the guy that can be a 12-plus sack a year guy? And that I don't think is him, Cody. That has nothing to do with the injury.
So either.
But can he be...
And there were only 8 players last year who had 12 or more sacks.
So that's the elite, that's the more elite category. But can he average over the next 3 years? Because that's really, if we look at the contract and everything, over the next 3 years, can he average 9.5, 10.5 sacks?
Yeah.
If he does that, it's a massive win for them. Based off the contract numbers looking better and better every year.
How many guys do you think had double-digit sacks last season? The 10 that we're talking about here between Chris Jones and George
in the entire
Karlaftis.
NFL, how many had double-digit?
In the entire NFL, how many players
Are you just talking defensive linemen, obviously edge rushers?
It could be outside linebackers, defensive tackles, defensive ends. It's just sacks.
I might be way off. I'm going to go ahead and say there were 23 players.
15.
Okay, yeah, so it's less
than
you think.
It is less than you think. And that's always the thing with defensive line. You guys see 7 sacks for George Karlaftis, and you're like, and he had 6, but you're like, boo! And you're like, Chris Jones, who had a down season for Chris Jones, still was tied for 35th in sacks. And I'm not saying that's good, but there are 2 to 3 pass rushers per team. So if you just say outside guys, right? Let's give everybody 1 outside, or 2 outsides, or 1 outside, 1 inside, or 2 outside linebackers, just 2 pass rushers per team, right? That get to the quarterback or consistently try to do it. We're talking about 64 players, and so he was, Chris Jones, by a sack margin, league average.
Yeah.
At
And the
defensive
problem with
tackles, better than that.
Yeah, the
they
problem
need
with
someone to jump up.
Yeah,
no doubt.
they need someone to jump up. But also, look, Chris Jones, we all know why he got the contract and it's what he has done throughout his career. But he's got a almost $45 million cap it this year. That 7 sacks is not going to cut it.
I can't believe Myles Garrett is a Ram. He had 23 last year. They already had a good defensive line. And now look, he's never going to be that. Brian Burns was second. Daniil Hunter. The surprising part to me is the names that you're like, that guy got to 10? Like, how the hell are you not getting to 10? And, Chase Young is one of the guys who got there last year. Now, Chase Young was a top 5 pick at one point in the NFL, but he had fallen long off the map of, regular guys, or even just, what I view as, average pass rushers, that of George Karlaftis, like Montez Sweat. I don't view him in any different ilk than players like that. He's just got to be more productive than some of those guys. And so, I don't know, man. There were only 15 guys to do it last year. I guess sometimes I'm just giving it to the youth gold as maybe a portion of the argument I'm making, which is maybe a lazy one, but also often true when it comes to the NFL and why I'm giving him the edge. But I think it's Karlaftis. I'd be if either get it. That is a huge jump for this team because Karlaftis had 6 and Jones had 7. So we're adding 3 before getting it from any secondary pass rusher immediately, 3 to 4. So we'll see. Someone says I would put big money on Karlaftis not getting 30 sacks in the next 3 seasons. I think that's what they 8 to 10.
I would say it's definitely if you were making a bet on that, yeah, it would be plus money in order for that to happen. Someone says you're grasping at straws for Karlaftis, saying that he has the chance to be a 9.5 or 10 sack guy is grasping at straws for Karlaftis. Okay,
he's had 10 sacks before.
All right.
So I just want to point that out. He has. I'm not saying this about I'm not saying Felix Anudike-Uzomah's going to get 10 this year. He's had 10 sacks in a season before. It's not. He had 10.5 2 years ago. It's not even. I don't know. I guess it. But that's that crazy.
My only thing is that's the peak though. I don't think there's anything more than a 9.5, 10 sack season from Karlaftis.
Yeah, the secret hope that he could have a 12 to 14 year, just stumble into one of those, a top 5 year in the NFL. Not like he's a top 5 pass rusher, but just for the year. Yeah, I'm not. I'm done counting on that, I guess, is what I would say. And I think that you're probably right for saying as much. That doesn't seem out of line to me. But what we had talked about, and this is maybe one of the reasons, you and I are trying to figure out why Connor Orr wrote something at Sports Illustrated that said 14 teams can win the Super Bowl this year and didn't list the Chiefs, or why John Gruden picked him 3rd to finish in the AFC West, or a million other teams who are way, way, way down on the Chiefs this season. What position, what group do you think it is that the national media is as a group so down on the Chiefs? Is it because Rashee Rice was in jail? Was it nobody? Someone is definitely the offensive line. Nationally, they hate the Chiefs' offensive line, so that's definitely part of it.
Yeah, I think
is it the Karlaftis, Chris Jones thing? What is it about the Chiefs roster that is so much worse than some of these other contending teams that has the national media down? Because the Reed Mahomes thing should be balancing some of that.
That's the part that makes it weird, because overall, there are a lot of questions with this roster. I've talked about it all offseason that I think they are a year away from them being back to one of the top teams entering a season in the AFC. I think they're no different than a lot of these teams. This Connor Orr list where he lists 14 teams that can win the Super Bowl, when you're going to list 44% of the league, it seems foolish not to have the Chiefs if you're going to have it that broad. If you're going to narrow it down and say, these are my 5 teams that can make the Super Bowl and the Chiefs aren't on the list, I have no problem with that. My issue is that there's 14 teams you're listing. How are they not in that? But yeah, the questions around Rashee Rice being available. Is Xavier Worthy going to take a leap forward? Is the offense in the RPO game going to be more effective with Kenneth Walker? I think the answer is yes, but that's a question. Jalen Moore at right tackle. We just got done talking about the pass rush. They got a very young secondary. They don't have Trent McDuffie anymore. There's plenty of fair questions. It doesn't mean they're going to fail at every single one of those questions, but there's a lot of questions there. So I have no problem with that. What I can't get over is that the national media does seem to be discounting the fact that, oh yeah, they still have this guy named Patrick Mahomes. Now, he's coming off an injury, in fairness, a serious injury. But they have this guy named Patrick Mahomes, and Andy Reid is still here. So that's the part that makes it a little odd. I kind of like where the Chiefs are at from a narrative standpoint, if you buy into that crap, which is everybody is kind of discounting them. I do like what that does mentally for Patrick Mahomes heading into the season. We know he kind of is fueled by some of the hate, criticism, limited expectation stuff.
I guess what I don't understand is how can you be down on the Chiefs, but then every single year I got to watch think pieces about talented quarterbacks kind of figure it all out. Let's just call it the Chargers for this one because they're probably the most top of mind example and prime example. Every year, Gold, we got to hear another team pick the Chargers to win the whole thing just because Justin Herbert looks good playing quarterback. They forget that they have issues on the defensive line or have issues at wide receiver. They ignore their problems, right? Or they'll ignore that defensive issues for Cincinnati, or they'll ignore, like, the teams that regularly get picked amongst these squads are teams that have fatal flaws that we seemingly notice and that we let go because of high-end quarterback play. And, you know, why for all of the teams you could ignore real problems for, the Chiefs are the one. And I think it's like it's the deciding that a 6-win season last year is more telling overall on where their roster is than the 7 years before. Look, 7 years is too far. You and I know that. 7 years doesn't tell the whole story. But 1 year doesn't either, too. So let's call this a 2-year sample size. Well, 2 years ago they were 15-1 and went to the Super Bowl. So or 15-2 and went to the Super Bowl. 15-1 with Mahomes. And so I don't know, man. It's kind of hard for me to imagine that they can't overcome some of the roster deficiencies that they do have. I'm not denying that. We have all agreed, though, and I assume you do. Maybe while you were gone, we were talking more about it. But there is no unit in further disagreements from locals' opinion to nationals' opinion than their offensive line.
Yeah, nationally,
I understand some of the questions a little bit because, you just don't know about tackle. But nationally, they hate the Chiefs' offensive line.
Yeah, that has been a consistent theme of the. I mean, it happened during the season too, and people were watching some of their backups play, and I think took that as that's just what the offensive line is. My question with the O line is Jalen Moore at right tackle. I understand Josh Simmons disappeared in the middle of the season. We've had this conversation plenty of times about what we had heard maybe happen, obviously, and stuff like that. I'm not worried about his availability this season. I guess is what I'll say. So if that's the case, I think we saw plenty of progress at left guard. We all know what you have at center and right guard.
Yeah, no question.
Jalen Moore's a question. I need Jalen Moore just to be average. Truly, I just need to be average. Healthy. Sure. Yeah, I mean, with all of them. But yeah.
They don't have any depth at line.
Need him to be average. Other than that, they have way too much talent on this offensive line for it to not be a top half of the league unit moving forward. Hopefully, the run protection, in particular, run blocking gets better with Kenneth Walker, because I'm still convinced a lot of that was more the running backs than it was the offensive line. Otherwise, we're going to find out that the run scheme just flat out sucks. And we'll see. I think with Eric Bieniemy, though, involved in the run game heavily, being the OC. Go ahead.
No, I was going to give a point to your thing. But yeah, I thought the run game part, do you see the stat yesterday that came out? Or 2 days ago, maybe? Okay, so yards, we talk all the time about maybe the Chiefs' offensive line is just not good at run blocking. Yards per carry when not hit behind the line of scrimmage, number 6th in the NFL, Kenneth Walker at 7.6 yards per carry. If he's not hit in the backfield, man runs for 8 yards. Do you know who 55th and 56th in the NFL were? The Chiefs running backs.
Yeah. So,
even if they didn't get hit behind the line of scrimmage, they went nowhere. They were the worst in the NFL. So, look, I think this is not a hard one. Do I think it is the road grading future Hall of Fame center? By the way, he is someone wrote a whole article up on it. He is on path to be maybe one of the greatest centers of all time, Creed Humphrey. So Creed and Trey and a really good left guard last year in Kingsley. Do I think they're the problem or the running back who can't run? And it seems like a fairly obvious thing to me that the problem with the running game was more on the bad running backs and less on what I view as quality offensive linemen than the other way around. That one seems like simple math to me, the run game part. To me, I think Simmons needs to prove it. He needs to get to 17 games.
Yeah, he cannot have. I mean, clearly, you can't just disappear for a month. I mean,
it can't just be that. It's the injury stuff too. He's just got to get through 17 games, and I'll have no questions.
Yeah, I feel it's fair. I mean, you bring up a fair point. I'm not worried about him, but I understand the question. I mean, again, you can't disappear for a month. The injury thing, I'm not as worried about, because that was the hand injury. If it was the knee acting up again or something, that's a problem.
He's just been hurt 2 years in a row, so I always get a little bit worried.
Yeah, we always disagree on the fluky versus real, on that kind of stuff. I mean, his arm got basically stuck in between. Who was it? Was it Kareem Hunt or who was it?
I can't remember who now, but yeah, I remember.
So that, to me, that was fluky. We'll find out. I mean, to your point, if he gets hurt again this year, then yeah, it's a massive problem for him. But as long as that doesn't happen, I feel pretty good about them. We all know, despite the former left tackle being a bad left tackle, he solidified himself at left guard. We know about center, as I said, and then obviously Trey Smith, who had a somewhat down year last year. I still feel very good about what Trey's going to bring.
Do you think they just they got to later in the season and they were like, man, that Chiefs offensive line is bad, and they forgot that they were running on a full team of backup offensive linemen? They were Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith were playing, and
Kingsley was still playing, I think, right?
Yeah, but eventually one of them, Trey missed some time last year too.
Trey Smith would be the right guard.
So, but I mean, Esapole, and they were on fourth string offensive linemen and stuff by the time we got towards the end of the year. I still don't and look, personal is in the sense that he doesn't technically owe it to anybody to explain. It's crazy to me that the Chiefs, in a way, allowed a player to just disappear for a month and a half. And at the time, seemed like there's some confusion over they weren't sure when he was returning. It's one thing for us not to know, but you're not going to know when your guy's coming back?
The communication was not good.
It's weird. You just got to make sure that, and I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about him missing time for that.
The only thing to track with him heading into week 1, you guys remember from OTAs, remember he came in, he's jacked right now, Josh Simmons, but he acknowledged he needs to gain a few pounds. He's never going to be one of the bigger left tackles in football in terms of weight, but
he's the lightest.
He needs to get to 300. he needs to get to or 305 or whatever it was that he even talked about. And so we'll see what he checks in at when we get to St. Joe next week.
What was interesting, I guess. Do the Chiefs want him to get ripped? Do the Chiefs want him, or do
they
want
all
him
have
to...
exit meetings or whatever? I'm sure they talked about this offseason program.
Because he definitely looked.
What was he listed at? 6'5", 3. He was 6'5",
40 pounds under an average left tackle weight or something.
I think he was 6'5", 310, but he at OTAs he was 6'5", what was it, 295 or something?
He's one of the lightest left tackles in all the NFL.
Yeah. Again, he doesn't need to be 315 or 310. That's not his game.
Let's bring back the running back screens and let that man work in space.
He was at 285 and 290 and wanted to get back to 300 even.
Okay. So he needed to gain 10 plus pounds by the time we get to week 1. And then in St. Joe, you're going to sweat some of that off too with the weather and everything. So who knows? We'll see where he's at.
The average left tackle plays between 310 and 315, according to stats. Somewhere between 305 and 330 is considered somewhat.
Are we going to weigh in before camp? What's our camp weight? Are we going to weigh in?
I don't think I'm going to weigh
before camp and see where our weight is after camp. See if we sweat out any weight.
Yeah, we should actually weigh ourselves before one show and then figure out where we are after. I think I might lose 2 pounds on Monday.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think we're going to
99 degrees.
Sweat it out a little bit.
Yeah, it's no fun.
All right, that's the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Up next, we'll get to what's trending. Talk more about Salvador Perez tying George Brett for the Royals' home run record, and it resulted in a fan getting arrested.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
You're looking for the best roofing company in Kansas City? Let me direct you to Century Roofing. I've told you before just how many roof jobs they've done in Kansas City. It's a ton, obviously, over 36,000. But I've also told you they've been voted best roofing company in Kansas City now 2 years in a row, thanks to readers of the Kansas City Star, and 5 years in a row over in Johnson County. Old friend Kling just told me they did a great job on their roof. Worked with his insurance company to make sure they got the job done right. That's the kind of expertise and experience that you can handle. So whether it's a storm that happened a couple of months ago or one where you hear a leak, when the rain comes in tonight and into tomorrow morning, Century Roofing can make sure that you're taken care of, and you can see for yourself why they've been voted best roofing company in Kansas City. Make sure that you're squared away, make sure that you're safe, and save that name. CenturyRoofingKC.com. That's CenturyRoofingKC.com.
Hi, I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Be a part of history by attending Chiefs training camp in St. Joseph, Missouri this summer. See the Chiefs and make a St. Joe memory. Whether it's touring one of the many museums, staying in a historic home turned bed and breakfast, experiencing quality dining or brewery options, hitting the River Bluff bike trails, or supporting a vibrant art scene, St. Joseph has something for everyone. Go to stjomo.com to view or download a free visitor guide and plan your trip. Produced in cooperation with Visit Missouri.
Hey, baseball fans, got a feeling about who's hitting a home run today? Don't just sit on it. FanDuel wants you to call your shot with daily dingers. All you have to do is make your pick on who's hitting a home run, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a shot at bigger winnings. So now when your favorite slugger hits that walk-off, you'll feel like a winner too. Daily Dingers on FanDuel is free to play, and you can lock in a pick every day of the MLB season. That's why FanDuel is the home for home runs. So are you ready to play your game? Check out Daily Dingers at FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local to make your free pick on who's hitting a homer today. Big hits can mean bigger winnings on FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB and 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What to do today? There's boating, fishing.
At Jackson County Parks Plus Rec,
sailing, skiing, picnicking.
there are countless ways to make your day.
Canoeing, hiking, biking.
And you just
swimming.
found your spot right here.
Camping. Yeah, camping. I'll camp at Lake Jacomo or Longview Lake or maybe Blue Springs Lake. Hit the beach at Longview Lake. Oh, they're all so close to
Jackson County Parks Plus Rec. Miles of smiles, minutes away. Learn more at makeyourdayhere.com.
That'll be $84.52.
Perfect. Grab the bags, honey.
Mom, why do you always check your phone before we pay?
I'm just claiming my cash back on the Upside app. Since we're getting the groceries here and we filled up the car on the way, I've already earned enough this morning to pay for that pizza night we're having Friday.
Wait, so the app pays for pizza?
Not exactly, but the cash I earn on stuff we need helps us pay for the stuff we want. It's just a little win for our family every week.
Get more out of your everyday. Upside is the free app that gets you cash back on routine purchases like gas, groceries, and dining out at more than 100,000 locations nationwide. No points, no rebates, just cash back straight to your wallet. Download the free Upside app and use promo code WINNER to get a $5 bonus on your first purchase. That's promo code WINNER to get a $5 bonus. Remember, use promo code WINNER.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's only one Ozempic.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s, kind of like him. Ozempic, you redid your jingle?
Thanks for noticing. Catchy, right?
No.
Okay, then. Well, ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of me, the Ozempic pen, may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic.
There's only one Ozempic.
I told you it was catchy.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on What's Trending, the Royals have won 5 of 6. They took care of the Giants yesterday. Of course, the big note out of the game we're going to get into more after What's Trending. That was Salvador Perez tying George Brett for the most home runs in Royals history. Also, the Royals did make an announcement earlier today that manager Matt Quatraro is attending to a personal matter, and he is not with the team in Detroit today. They expect him back soon. Paul Hoover is going to serve as manager. Vance Wilson will be the bench coach. Obviously, all the best to Q with whatever is going on there, but he will be away from the team, it sounds like, for a couple days at least.
Yeah, my understanding, just personal and private reasons. They didn't really specify why, but, you know, good luck to Q. Hopefully everything's okay on his end. Next up on What's Trending, Tyreek Hill says he still has, quote, no power in his left leg 10 months after he's recovered from that very serious leg injury. Didn't sound optimistic somewhat in the video that he's on his timeline still. Before you do, what that timeline is, though, I don't know. Nate Taylor was on Fesco and Dusty earlier today, said that he still thinks that he's a real target for the Chiefs sometime later in the season. But the fact that it's July 23rd, he's got no power in the leg, should be concerning for anybody thinking he might return this season.
I mean, it definitely eliminates, he's playing anywhere week 1.
Yeah.
I guess still there's the chance, which we talked about a month or so ago, which is does he join a team in October or November? I tend to think he's not going to play this year, but that would be the original thought, was joining a team in season. But I'm not so sure it's going to work out for everybody involved. We'll see. All right, elsewhere, Panthers owner David Tepper in the city of Charlotte today announced they've agreed to invest $1.3 billion to help renovate Bank of America Stadium while also extending their naming rights agreement. The team has used that stadium for 30 years. It was built in the late 90s, and then it switched to, I don't know if it was Everbank or something, or Ericsson Stadium, I think it was actually. Yeah, Sony Ericsson Stadium or whatever in the early 2000s. So they're going the renovation route. The Jags are going the renovation route. And then, of course, all
these were built at the same time.
All these timelines, it's all right. The Chiefs is 2031, 2030. This is 2030, 2031. The Jags renovations are right around the same time. All these stadiums are opening or renovating, reopening around the same time, which is why for the Super Bowl conversation, look, we're going to get one here, I believe, but it may not be 2032, 2030. It could be later in the 2030s because there's a bunch of other cities that are going to be trying for the same thing.
Has Charlotte ever gotten one, though? Jacksonville certainly got plenty.
I think Kansas City has a leg up on Charlotte getting one.
Yeah, for sure.
The Jags will get one with their renovated stadium at some point.
Clark had said before, by the way, he's going to start bidding out for all the things you might want, WrestleMania, Final Fours, starting in 2032. Yeah. So they'll do a full season probably before they start.
That's usually the rule, even. Like the Super Bowl, that nobody gets the Super Bowl their first year of the new stadium. They
want to make sure all the kinks are worked out before they plop a Super Bowl in it.
Mm-hmm.
Next up on What's Trending, it's official. The numbers are out for World Cup viewership across all networks. Kansas City officially ranked number 1 in all television viewership in any market. Can't say I'm surprised.
Nope.
It should point to a good sign that if the World Cup were to come back here in 2038, Kansas City would once again have a pretty damn good argument for why they should get to be a host city again. I don't think FIFA's going to want to reuse all the same smaller markets because they're going to want to reuse LA and New York and all those. So we'll see. But Kansas City ranked number 1 in World Cup viewership.
Lastly, on What's Trending, you mentioned it earlier in the 11 o'clock hour, as some teams already are out on the practice field. The Carolina Panthers' second-year outside linebacker Nick Scordon carted off the field with a right knee injury. First day of training camp for them. Dave Canales, their head coach, says he does not know the extent of the injury. He's going to have an MRI. Said he didn't want to speculate. He's hoping for the best, but don't like seeing that. The field, I guess, was wet late in practice during team drills, and players immediately gathered around him on one knee. So the worst-case scenario stuff, you never want to see that. Scordon was seen holding his hand over his face as he was led into an awaiting cart. So not good. The Panthers have been banged up already. Both tackles are hurt, and now perhaps a serious injury for their outside linebacker.
In a division that was already pretty tight, Nick Scordon had the 3rd most sacks out of any rookie last season. He had 5. Only Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. had more, so he was definitely like a player to watch for the Carolina Panthers. That's What's Trending here on Cody and Gold.
Coming up in 25 minutes, Josh Vernier, our Royals insider, will join us. We'll
Maybe
find
fight
out.
you. Is he coming in studio to join us? So you guys can duke it out?
He's clearly ducking me now after firing shots. He doesn't want to come in studio. I don't know. I mean,
it's either C-Dot
Cody's
or...
out?
Yeah. Cody's seen some stuff, man. Cody's not going.
All right.
Cody's not going to stop until he's dead. Yeah, it's Gold. I don't want to fight Gold. I love Gold, but I think I could handle Gold.
So we're going to talk this thing out at 12:30 today. We're going to talk it out.
Got to figure it out.
You notice Vern hasn't asked me to do pregame or anything. He knows not to ask me.
He's going to leave you alone for a
He
little
asked you to
bit?
do pregame yesterday, some bets. He hasn't asked me to do any recently. He knows those comments on Monday.
Heard.
Yep. Oh, I heard them all right, Vern. I heard them.
We'll talk to Vern at 12:30.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
I'm looking
curious
forward to
how
it.
he defends it, in a longer segment to the person he said whose ass he could kick.
We'll find out. We'll find out how that goes. All right, let's talk more about the Royals here for a second. Salvador Perez, made history to tie George Brett. He's now right there with George Brett in Royals home runs, and it's cool. We got to do it at Kauffman. We talked about that on Tuesday when we were discussing it with JJ Piccolo. The ability to do it at Kauffman would be really neat. Now, maybe he'll break it on the road in Detroit, which is where I believe his first home run maybe was ever hit too. Someone was saying that, so that'd be full circle. If that's true, that's not verified.
I mean, it very well might be. I don't remember now.
But the home run one was a no doubter into the fountains. We'll talk about the fountains in a second because of course somebody got arrested. But you look at what that does for the Hall of Fame case and everything. He's now 8 homers and 11 RBI away from all the other catchers that are ahead of him in those particular stats that are already in the Hall of Fame. So you talk about his case. This is another milestone to add to many others in his career. He's going to eventually clearly break the record. Maybe it happens this weekend. If not, it's going to happen very soon. Yeah. He will be the standalone record holder for that in Royals history. That helps. Like, every little bit helps for his case. You and I both believe he's going to end up in Cooperstown when it's all said and done.
Only 7 home runs for being top 5 in home runs all time for a catcher.
He's going to get there. He's likability, whether you believe it should or not. It definitely helps your case with getting into Cooperstown. He's got that down. Spending maybe your entire career with one team, if that ultimately is what it's going to be, I think that is a feather in your cap on top of it. It's a shame he hasn't been in more postseason moments, because we wouldn't even be having any conversation nationally.
Plays in Kansas City, it's hard.
If in fact he was in the more postseasons. We all know, thank goodness he's got the World Series ring, which is a huge part of this conversation too.
Especially accomplishing it, and I don't think that should be undersold. Accomplishing it in this market is a big deal. And I don't say that because we're in Kansas City and I'm trying to make excuses for billionaire owners for not spending any money. I want you to look at the history of Major League Baseball World Series winners and look at how many of those teams all are small markets. You can make an argument Kansas City is the one. The one. Especially since the strike and baseball fundamentally changed in the early 90s. And because World Series winners typically come from Boston, New York, constantly from LA because of them. But the Dodgers have won the previous 2. The Rangers, massive market. Houston, Atlanta, Dodgers. I mean, they're all humongous markets. San Francisco, and go on and on. Kansas City winning a World Series and Salvador Perez doing it in one jersey the entire time, that means something.
Yes.
It does.
One of the last players that you're going to be able to say that about, Cody. I mean, just in the way the baseball works. I mean, not even just talking about Kansas City, but just in general. What player starts and finishes, we think he'll end up finishing his career here. What player does that in baseball in the year 2026, this era of baseball? It just doesn't happen.
You give Bobby Witt Jr. a chance to break it?
Break the home run record in Royals uniform?
Bobby Witt Jr., just
I hate to be Debbie Downer.
Has 118 of them at the moment.
Yeah, I hate to be Debbie Downer. I'm not so sure the old opt-out doesn't kick in here in about 3 or 4 years.
So Bobby Witt Jr. averages about 25 home runs a season. To get to 300, that means you got to play here a long time, like 12 full years. Now, you and I both agree he'll have a season that isn't 25 home runs. He'll put up a season that's 40, 45. Will it be in a Royals uniform? That's a fair question. And whether or not it'll be there, that would supercharge the number, kind of the way Salvador Perez getting 48 in a year. Helped him supercharge.
The actual
he
number.
was a very unlikely person to ever pass George Brett. 6 years into his career. It's crazy.
Yeah, the actual number, Bobby will get to that home run number. That's not the question. But what you asked me was in a Royals uniform.
How many did Carlos Beltran hit in a Royals uniform? Because that man hit a lot of home runs in his major league career. I would guess he's the... I guess not that many. Because
Beltran hit 123, 7 seasons.
So Bobby's already past him. About to be past him. God, it's kind of crazy.
His career high, though, in a Royals uniform, Beltran was just 29 home runs.
He had all of his home runs after he left. Mm-hmm. But that's the problem. For a long
time. He had 435 home runs when his career was over.
Yeah.
Beltran did.
One of the most home runs.
He played 20 years in the big leagues, too.
It's just, if you go back through, and this is what makes it so impressive, next closest is Mike Sweeney. He's a full 120 home runs back of those two. So, no one's ever come even close to sniffing George Brett's record at any stage until Salvador Perez made an actual run at it. Not even close. I mean, some of the guys on this list, 10th all time is Billy Butler with 127. Now, look, it's higher than you think. It's probably league average to have 317 home runs be your team's record because lots of players play for lots of teams, hit home runs for lots of different teams. There are teams that have less than them, including certainly expansion teams like the Rays, but even ones that you wouldn't necessarily expect who don't have massively high numbers.
No, it depends on the team. I mean, we all know there's certain franchises that have had some of the better home run hitters in period. So, of course.
Played their entire career with
just a quick
Babe Ruth
look in their own division. Go look in their own division. So, the White Sox, Frank Thomas, of course.
Yeah, he's got
448. Okay, it's Frank Thomas, but he's viewed as one of the better home run hitters in the game's history. I don't know.
Tomey, I think, is the Guardians, and he's in the 350s.
Is that right? And then what about the Twins? Twins most home runs.
Oh, Harmon Killebrew.
But how many? Sorry, but how many?
Billion. 500?
Is this right? This says that can't be right. Give me a second on that. That's just his single season, 49 or whatever. I can't find that answer yet.
Each team's home run leader. Here you go.
There you go.
I can get
Found
you
an
by
article.
season.
All right.
Evan Longoria, 261. Red Sox have Ted Williams at 521. Yankees have Babe Ruth. Jim Thome, 337 for the Guardians. Salvador Perez and George Brett at 317 for the Royals. Al Kaline for the Tigers at 399. Again, that's not way ahead of Salvador Perez. It's ahead. Harmon Killebrew, 559.
550.
Frank Thomas, 440. He played his entire career. Technically, he played for the Royals. So the guy who played for the Royals, who probably had the most career home runs, is Harmon Killebrew. He had a cup of coffee here, so it doesn't count. But even Trout, 404, he'll put that numbers up. Athletics, Mark McGuire's our leader. Only 363 with them. Now, he hit over 500 in his career, but only, and Juan Gonzalez hit 372 for the Rangers. This is not like a uncommon number. It is hard to hit 300 home runs with a team. The Nationals have less. The Mets have less for a career guy. They're only 30 off of the Brewers' all-time leading home run guy. If you don't have one of the dudes that ripped like 400 or 500 for a squad, then probably right around where the Royals are, 400 home runs.
The other part yesterday, though, that made it a story was the fan that jumped into the fountains to get the home run ball. We've all seen the video, I'm sure, by now. He was handcuffed because that is the policy. I think anybody that's lived in Kansas City long enough remembers Fountain Lady as well. Now, she was like just swimming around drunk in the fountains.
Different problem.
This was a guy jumping in to get a home run ball, but it still is not something that's allowed. So he gets cuffed. I'm sure he was cited and released very, very quickly after that,
Need
that
to follow
fact.
up. He's welcome on the show, by the way.
He is. He is definitely welcome on the show. Now, Salvador Perez was asked, did he have a message to the fan that jumped in the fountains?
Police. Just take care of the jail, please, and send him home. If I was saying, I maybe jump up and try to get that ball. So please, and thank you for the hard work and try to get that ball.
And there's been some more reporting on this individual. So I think it was Rob Collins sent me the link earlier from Fox 4. They did some digging that this guy claims that he was getting a ball for a friend's sick kid that just had surgery, I think, at Children's Mercy for a ruptured eardrum, and that was his reason behind it. And look, on the scale of things, obviously, like I hope he gets just a fine and that's it, and everybody can move on with their life.
Yeah,
but like
I don't need him to get a permanent ban from Kaufman or whatever.
No, I hope not. However, like we also know, like everybody else would have jumped in as well if it wasn't against the rules to get the home run ball. Like Salvador Perez wants that ball for his family too. So as much as people are using like the kid as like, well, that's why it's okay. You don't think Salvador Perez kids want to have his dad's home run ball as well? Like, I'm just saying, like this guy's not the worst person on earth, but also I have no problem that he got arrested for it. I'm sorry. There's a reason why, Cody, you've never jumped in the fountains at Kauffman Stadium. You've been to hundreds of games there.
Because they will arrest me.
There's a reason why other people didn't jump in the fountains.
Look, here's the thing. I think if it seemed like an unclear rule, they got signs everywhere. It says you'll go to jail. It says they'll prosecute you to the full extent of the law or whatever. And they don't have to prosecute the guy to the full extent of the law, but they have to deter it.
Yes, it's
because
a deterrent.
if they let even one person get away with it in this case, it opens up that if it's any cool home run, you're allowed to jump in there. If it's anything meaningful, so like Jack Caglianone's first career home runs flies over into the fountains. That doesn't give you a free pass if it's a cool one to jump in there. That's just
because that was the argument some people were making. Because that was the argument some people were making. Like, well, if it's for this, it's okay. But like, that's just not how it works. Like, I don't know. Overall, it's not a huge deal. But it's
quite the visual.
But also, don't criticize the Royals or law enforcement for arresting the guy. That's what the rule is.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of fans calling him like no fun. Essentially, they're like, they're the anti-fun team. I'm like, because they enforced their rule, and also, I doubt anyone from the Royals organization walkie-talkied the cop. The cop just knows that's the rule. If they get in the fountain, you got to arrest them. I'm pretty sure you're told that like day one if you operate in the outfield.
My guess is that police officer probably didn't want to handcuff the guy and walk him out either, right? Like, he's doing his job. And there's a safety element to it. Like, you know, we all have seen the fountains empty before. It's all spiky electrical wires and stuff that are in the fountains. I mean, you can, like, legitimately electrocution and other safety problems there. I mean, it truly is for your own good. So everybody moves on from it. But that guy took a quick dive in, man. He got in the fountains quick.
Somebody said, they said Fox 4 was asking if Brett or Salvador Perez are the greatest Royal of all time. Brett has had the better career.
George Brett is.
George Brett is one of the, in most lists, one of the 50 greatest baseball players to ever live. He has the 50 best WAR of all time, if you just want to like have a stat behind it. And some of those guys played in like the 1880s and and baseball's a long sport. That's a lot of WAR calculated over a very long time. He's got the 50th most ever. So by most accounts, he's one of the best players to ever exist. I think if to the point is Salvador Perez means more to me as a fan, even though I got to watch both. He probably means more to Alex as a fan because he barely got to watch Brett. Like in his heyday, didn't get to watch Brett based on when you were born or Drew was born. So like you don't have the memories tied to Brett that I do as like an 8-year-old or 9-year-old or 10-year-old. I think Salvador Perez might be the more likable figure maybe in Royals history.
I think that's fair.
Because he's one of the most fan-friendly players to ever walk through Kansas City. George Perez made Kansas City his home for 50 years. He's one of the 50 greatest players of all time. It's like Brett's going to go down as the better player.
No, it is. The answer is George Brett.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to make an argument for, but that's why like there aren't that many statues, and Salvia will have one. We don't have to like parse. He's one of the single greatest Royals or most important Royals of all time. That's really not up for debate.
Yeah,
I'm not going to jump in the fountains anytime soon.
Can we use a little common sense? Like now people are throwing out ridiculous scenarios. I think we all can use common sense to recognize the difference. Someone says, you guys are saying it's against the rules. What if a baby fell in? Can I jump in and save it? Use some damn common sense. Of course, if a baby was drowning in the damn fountain, what are we talking about? Can we just be smart for a second?
No one was making that argument.
What are we doing? Yes, you can do common sense.
That's what he should have said. His excuse should have been, oh my God, I thought a baby fell in there and I had to quickly rescue it. Yeah. And then I saw, oops, a baseball. And I thought, well, I'm here, so maybe they need me to pick that up.
Yeah. Again, can we just throw it out now, just absurd scenarios? Come on.
Like, yes, if your child fell in there, I don't think the Royals are going to prosecute you for saving said child.
Your child that's drowning. I mean, yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, they're going to arrest you. Actually, you shouldn't jump in. You should just let the baby drown. Like, no kidding. It's common sense. Obviously, you would be able to do that.
Anytime we talk about like getting like historic home run balls, all I'm reminded is that guy Zach Hampel is one of the worst people on the planet. Because he like shoves babies. He would push your baby.
Different guy we're talking about here.
He would shove your baby into a fountain in order to get that ball. This guy just jumped in the fountain. He thought he could get away with it. I didn't let that happen. Someone said arrest the baby.
What are we doing?
Someone said, what about an injured eagle?
Oh, man.
Good stuff. Really, really good stuff. You know what? We can talk instead, shifting to the motivational calendar, because I want to be on record that I said this long before this comment made, and I want to hold this. I told you I didn't think I understood why the Giants hired John Harbaugh, but that overall I want to be on the record as saying I don't think it will work, and I think there maybe should be a little bit more of a conversation. It could be a Pete Carroll situation where the game might be getting past Harbaugh a little bit, and that should be a real concern for the Giants. And if I had a young quarterback and all this other stuff, I might be going the route of not a 65-year-old as my next head coach. Now, look, it worked out for Andy Reid, and he was still younger than when Harbaugh got hired. Did you hear his attempt at a motivational speech, Gold?
I did, and I thought maybe his brother, Jim Harbaugh, gave him some advice on how to do speeches and make them somewhat awkward.
Welcome, man. Good to see everybody here. You excited?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
a little nervous?
Nope.
Huh? A little nervous? A little nervous, man. Nervous? Excited nervous, you know? Nervous like you're full of game almost, man. Give this thing kick off. Standing up here in front of the New York Giants. The New York Giants. This is a New York Giants sitting in this room. The New York Giants. Wow, it's an honor. It's an honor to stand in front of this room right now. And I know those coaches back there feel the same way, right, coaches? Sir, it's an honor, man. We've been working, haven't we? We've been working early and real late getting ready for today. Today. Sitting in this chair, in this seat, getting to work, getting started, our beginning. Because this is where it all begins, together.
If you watch the video clip, he's addressing his team.
No energy from anyone.
Yeah, that didn't help. That didn't help. I think John Harbaugh's a hell of a coach. I like the Giants to win that division this year. That was not an inspiring Inspiring moment.
Did anyone else get like really bad Bud Kilmer Varsity Blues vibes when he's just like screaming at everyone and nobody's doing anything? That was I think what happened was he thought he's like, we're going to do it. And they were going to go, yeah. And everyone was going to like feed the energy. And somehow that was painful to watch. Genuinely painful. If I'm the Giants, it's like, man, we're screwed. Scadaboo's still doing backflips. Harbaugh can't even motivate the team, and he hasn't even asked them to like work hard yet. And somehow, this is the energy that they're getting.
Standing up here in front of the New York Giants.
New York Giants.
The New York Giants. This is a New York Giants sitting in this room.
And nobody moves. I mean, legitimately nobody moves.
I mean, that just, again.
It's not just another day. It's 2 days.
Yeah, that's his brother, and I think the speech, his brother helped him with this.
It was not motivational enough. It's not going to work for Giants. Are not. I know that they're a sleeper pick to win the division. They're going to win like 6 games.
I'll stick with my divisional pick. Although I don't like Cam Scadaboo doing backflips and not able to land them on a bum ankle.
He just got back from surgery. He is the most stereotypical. We were just talking about Varsity Blues. He is like a made in the factory nail. Hammer hit nail football player, run through a brick wall, comes off like dumb as a bag of rocks football. Like classic, like movie made dumb bro high school football player, right? That's his whole energy. And that's why people loved him, right? Because he's just like a fun, I'll do anything, yeah, whatever guy. And he's just like doing backflips. Like, no, Cam, we got to make sure that you're like, okay. I don't think it's going to work in New York. You do, Gold. Drew, do you think it's going to work? I think it's going to work with Harbaugh.
I mean, what does it mean by work?
Make the playoffs in the next 3 years.
Or win a division in the next couple of years.
Or win a division in the next couple of years.
I think they can make the playoffs maybe in a few years. I don't think it's going to be this year, but I think they can make the playoffs in a couple of years. Depends on Jackson Dart.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's everything.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah. John Harbaugh can be like Mike Tomlin and have them win 9 games, but if they don't make the playoffs, then
Look, you guys were, we clown Liam Cohen with the Duval. They had a pretty nice season.
That's true. That's true. I was wrong on Cohen. I thought he seemed so out of it. This can't go well. And part of that was because I'm just not a big believer in Trevor Lawrence.
Fair.
But
that's your thing,
the room giving him nothing is tough. How do you not get like one person like louder? But like if you had like 2 people like kind of murmur, you can hit him with the like, I didn't hear you, But no one said anything. It's just crickets in the whole room.
You think I'm an idiot? Do you?
I think that's who's going to win that division.
Cowboys?
Yep.
So do I.
No, I do not. I do
like
not
Dak,
think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I just said I think that's the team who's going to win the division. Those are very different things.
I like Dak Prescott. That defense, while it's going to clearly be better than last year, is it enough? That division is there for the taking for just about anybody, though. I'm not sold on the Eagles whatsoever. No. I'm not sold. I mean, I'm not sold on really anybody, and so that's why I'll take a flyer on a team with a brand new head coach that has won games, has won divisions, has won a Super Bowl. And Harbaugh, and I think that wide receiver room there in New York's pretty impressive. The defensive line's really impressive. I think they got a chance, and I don't think to win that division you got to get to 13 or 14 wins. It's kind of like what I said with the AFC West. I think the teams are very close to each other.
How old was Harbaugh when he got hired? How old is John Harbaugh now? Versus how old Andy Reid was when he got hired?
No, he's older than I thought. He's 63.
I mean, how old was Andy Reid when he got hired by the Chiefs? Younger than that, right? He's 68 years old. No, that's probably pretty close. But I mean, 5 years younger is not nothing. He got hired by the Chiefs in 2013, so 13 years ago. He's 68. Now he's 55. See, that's the thing with Harbaugh. It's like hiring a 63-year-old coach to turn it around with a bunch of young players. I don't know what the hit rate is on that. It feels like it more often goes the Pete Carroll way than it goes the Andy Reid way. And Andy Reid, again, was 8 full years younger than Harbaugh when he took the Chiefs job. So let's not make it seem like that was the same thing. Andy was still in his 50s.
Yeah. Our football coverage here on 96.5 The Fan, presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. Up next, let's talk some Royals baseball. Also find out when Vern wants to schedule our fight. Our Royals insider joins us next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The best football contests are back out in Las Vegas with Circa Sports. $30 million in guaranteed prizes, no rake in any of the 3 contests. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize! Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I focus on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My BALD plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the BALD Plan to Decrease Property Taxes. Conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit scottschwab.com/bald to learn more. Paid for by Schwab for Governor, Jim Felter, Treasurer.
Plumbing service shouldn't be a hassle. That's why KC calls on KB Complete for all their plumbing needs for over 30 years. Whether it's water quality, drain cleaning, sump pumps, or more, no job is too big or too small. From start to KB Complete, we believe in honest work, real results, and the kind of care that makes a difference. Call KB Complete at 913-730-5111 or visit kbcomplete.com today.
Your job's not done until it's KB Complete.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, back here on Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We'll get to the random question of the day here in about 12 minutes or so. But let's go out to the Golden Oak Lending phone line and welcome in our Royals insider, Josh Vernier. His On Deck show is this afternoon at 4:30 as the Royals are in Detroit taking on the Tigers. And look, Vern, usually you come on Wednesdays. I don't know why you were ducking us and not coming on yesterday. I'm guessing it's because you knew I was going to bring up your comments that I was made aware of on Monday's show with Fesco and Dusty. For those that maybe didn't hear, this was what Vern had to say.
It's either C-Dot
Cody's
or...
out?
Yeah. Cody's seen some stuff, man. Cody's not going.
All right.
Cody's not going to stop until he's dead. Yeah, it's Gold. I don't want to fight Gold. I love Gold, but I think I could handle Gold.
What's up with that, Vern? You want to fight me? Huh? That's what it is?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Honestly, I wanted to know if you'd come on the On Deck show tonight. I kind of need your gambling expertise.
Oh, so you want me to actually go on pregame after those comments?
Who was I supposed to say? I think the perfect rule is you don't want to fight someone with kids because if they have kids, well, they don't want to get beat up in front of their kids. And to me, dads will go down dying. So that leaves you.
I will do anything to win the fight. I will say that.
Right. I mean, in front of your son, could you imagine getting your tail kicked in front of your boy? No, you're not.
Pop your eyeball out of the socket if that's what it took. It doesn't matter.
Get real. So that. I know Dusty doesn't have kids, but that would break his heart, Gold. If I would have said, Dusty, I want to fight you. And you're kind of the heel on that show anyway, so it was on a tee for me. But, if you have the dates, I'll meet you there. We can
look, Vern, Cody and I have tried to do a charity boxing match in the past. Corporate kind of shut it down, but it was we went through a whole process. We looked up potentially what we would have to do. We were going to have the headgear, go through the proper channels. You can, maybe they'll trust you more than they trust us. I'm down for that setting. I got the reach on you though. Look out.
No doubt.
You got maybe
you're younger.
The text line thinks you'll kick my ass, but I got the reach. I've been working out here a lot recently in the last 6+ months.
Really?
I'm just saying, Vern, you better get going.
Okay, well, we're also probably the two most litigious in the building to where maybe we shouldn't talk about this on the air, but yeah, let's get it all signed off, and then we'll sue Odyssey for everything they have. And we'll split it.
Perfect.
Get it all taken care of, Vern. Let's talk. The team's obviously playing a little bit better as of late, but the injuries have devastated them in a way that, you and I both know it's not the reason why they're having a bad season, but it's certainly not helping them, level out at any point this year, because this is about as injured as I can remember them in the last 5 to 7 years.
Yeah. It's what made it so easy for so much of us to say it's over, because if they were going to mount some sort of miraculous comeback, it needed to happen on the backs of Chris Bubich and Cole Reagans and Carlos Estevez and Bobby Witt Jr. and Michael Garcia, but those 5 all-stars are all banged up, and then you throw in, Ryan Bergert's done, Stephen Kolek is now done for the rest of the season, more than likely. Listen, Now the issue is prior to Reagan's going down, he wasn't an ace. Prior to Bubic going down, he didn't look like an all-star. Before Vinny went down, he didn't look like the 3,100 guy we've become accustomed to seeing. Michael wasn't at his top 25 all-around player in Major League Baseball level that we expected. Shoot, even Bobby. I understand on the bases and defensively he's been among the best in the game, but offensively this is as down of a season as he's had since going back to his rookie campaign. It's as few games as he's played since he was a rookie. So, yeah, if anyone would have laid those things out at the beginning of the season, I don't think anyone would be surprised that you're barreling towards 90 losses. And for as predictable as some of the injuries may have been to plenty of fans out there that are, without question, using the benefit of hindsight, but even with that being said, there's just no way you could have predicted that everybody would fall short of expectations or end up with a season-ending injury or some sort of ailment that would have them sidelined for an extended period of time. Again, like you said, it's not the reason, right? The slow starts and the underperformances from your all-stars are the first reasons, but the injuries were certainly the final nails in the coffin.
Salvador Perez tying George Brett yesterday, obviously, for the Royals' home run record. Has a chance maybe to break it tonight or this weekend in Detroit. What does that mean for his stature in this organization and more importantly, I guess, for baseball and his path towards Cooperstown hopefully one day?
Yeah, the Cooperstown aspect of it, to me, it helps in that he's only played for one team. Had he bounced around, if he ends up bouncing around, I could see it negatively affecting his Hall of Fame credentials because catchers are already somewhat overlooked. Carlos Beltran, the fact that he had to wait, to me, is a reflection of a guy that bounced around and didn't really have a specific team. There are countless names. Gary Carter, Dick Allen, some great players from back in the day that were moved around whether they wanted to or not, and I think that negatively impacted their Hall of Fame credentials. But the fact, and if Salvi ultimately only plays in this uniform, I think it'll get him into Cooperstown a year or two earlier than it would have if he goes ring chasing for these next 3-4 seasons. But as far as where it stacks him up among Royals here locally, he's always sat at the right hand of George Brett, and I think he's going to remain there until Bobby knocks him out. Bobby's really the only one, in my opinion, that will have that opportunity. Bobby might be the most talented. Carlos Beltran may be more talented than George and Salvi, but the fact that he bounced out is why. It's George 1, Salvi 2, and it'll remain that way up until that decision that Bobby has after the 2030 season.
Vern, as it sits right now this season, Salvi's caught 38 games, played 14 at first, and DH'd for 43. We know some of that was made available by the injury for Vinny Pasquantino, just more games being available at first. What's the offseason conversation with Salvador Perez? How much does Carter need to take over as the full-time catching starter with no questions about it going into next year? How do you think they'll handle that?
Yeah, I think that's already very clear that Carter is the truth. Offensively, defensively, he's putting together probably the second greatest rookie season by a hitter in franchise history, second only to Kevin Seitzer back in 1987. And you take in the totality of the game, it's one of the 5 greatest rookie seasons that any Royals players ever had. Leading off, catching, the numbers say Carter's already a top 10 catcher in the game. Numbers say he's already a top 10 leadoff hitter in the game. He doesn't turn 24 until next July. So, yeah, that's Carter's job for the next half decade. And, hopefully a decade from now, we're talking about him chasing down Bobby and Salvi and George in these franchise records, whether that be the home run record or whatever. But the conversation with Salvi, well, shoot, you need to make sure this elbow is right. The reason why we haven't seen Salvi catch a game in a month is because that surgically repaired elbow the one that underwent Tommy John surgery back in 2019. It's not right. So let's see how this offseason treats him, because I know he's been grinding all year with the hip injury, the back injury, and now the elbow. So we'll see what sort of decision Salvi makes this offseason with his family. He told me this past spring training he still wants to play another 3-4 seasons. It'll be interesting to see if those 4 years are all in Kansas City. Next year certainly will be. And currently I would view him the way that you viewed Yadier Molina in his final couple seasons in St. Louis. I love when he's behind the plate, love him working with this pitching staff, but I want him hitting no higher than 7th. I'm going to go into the year having zero expectations for him offensively. I view him as a backup catcher with great leadership skills, but not a DH. Not a DH on a team that I'm expecting to win anything of note. So, now, he does have, 59 games to go?
Yeah.
We'll see what he does down the stretch. Maybe he can remind us that he's still a productive player, because he has been a productive hitter for the better part of the past decade. Just has not been this season. He's been better in July, so he's earned the benefit of the doubt. Well, let's give him August, give him September, and if he can be the Salvi that we've seen over the past just 2-3 seasons, a clutch hitter, a league average hitter, but a guy that comes up in big spots and ultimately comes through. If that guy returns, okay, maybe I'm having a different conversation, but I just haven't seen enough of that guy to where I'm going to put any sort of offensive expectations on him next year.
We're talking to Josh Vernier, our Royals insider here on 96.5 The Fan. We are under 2 weeks away from the trade deadline coming up on August 3rd. We had J.J. Piccolo on the show earlier this week. He said, I think it would have been on Monday then, that the phone calls were starting to pick up at that point in time. I know I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago on pregame or postgame, we're talking about the list of players maybe that could be on the move. Do you believe, kind of going with what you just said with Salvi, and what he needs to be if you're going to compete in 2027, or where he needs to be in the lineup, can they move on from a Lugo or Waka and still sell you that they're competing in 2027?
No. I just don't see how it's possible, because as it currently stands, in my opinion, you need two pitchers that are as good as Michael Waka, if not better, if I'm going to believe that you're a playoff team next year. Seth Lugo pitched very well yesterday, pitched well in his time before that. So back-to-back solid starts from Seth. Again, let's see what he does down the stretch. But to me right now, if you want me to believe that the Royals are a playoff team, Seth Lugo can be no higher than your number 4. He's an innings eater, which is going to help you get through 162, but I'm not trying to give Seth Lugo the ball in the postseason. Michael Waka, I'll give him game 3, but I need someone to stare down Garrett Cole and then Max Fried, and maybe Luinder Avila can rise to that. He certainly has the strikeout stuff that this organization is starving for. But you need to go out and find another Cole Reagans in a trade. Good luck. Or you need to hit free agency, and a strange free agency, right? Everyone's going to be going crazy in November before the lockout, trying to get their teams ready. And if you don't find the diamond in the rough when it comes to free agency, right? If you don't find the steal like you did 2 years ago with Lugo and Waka, well, then it's going to be a mad dash once the CBA hopefully is agreed upon and we have a truncated spring training. So it is a very uphill battle for J.J. Piccolo, because he needs to do what he did in a 6-month stretch 2 years ago when he brought in Reagans, Lugo, and Waka. He needs to do that again, but he has, half the time to do it. He has a trade deadline, sure, but the offseason that he had in 24 is going to be quite different than the one that he has this upcoming season. And, Kolek's not going to be able to help you at the beginning of next year. Neither is Reagans, neither is Bergert. So right now the rotation is Lugo, Waka, Avila, and Noah Cameron. So you already know you need a number 1. And, depending on how you feel about those other names I mentioned, I think most of us would agree you also need a number 2. So parting with a Michael Waka, parting with an innings eater in Seth Lugo, which, let's be honest, if you trade Seth Lugo, that's a money dump. You're just trying to get rid of that contract, because you're not going to get anything of note in return for that contract. Not in my opinion. So, no, if they part with Waka, now, the only way that I could stomach their explanation as to why they part with Michael Waka is we believe this is as good as he's going to get. We think it's all downhill from here. Okay. Now, if you feel that way about Daniel Lynch, trade him too. Alex Lang, Michael Massey, Nick Lofton. If you think their stock is as high as it's ever going to be, yeah, pull the trigger. I'm not there right now with Michael Waka. The rest of those names, I could listen to. Michael Massey's making a pretty good case right now, but then we get to that place of, well, do we like everybody? Are you really going to bring back the exact same offense?
Just hope.
In 2027, and I don't think the fan base can stomach that.
Just call up Kendry Churio. He can be the ace next year. Problem solved. You know?
Yeah.
Just
I
call him up
would
at
love
19
to.
years old like David Price and just let the man shove.
Yeah, was Price 19? See, to me, it's just been about age. I'm like, well, who do I know that's ever done it at 20?
I think
okay,
Price
maybe he
was
could be
19
that
or
guy.
20. I mean, I have to
And
look
he came
at
out of
that,
the bullpen, right? Just for that playoff run to the World
Oh,
Series.
I was way
for the
off. He was
Rays.
22. Who's like the youngest pitcher?
Yeah, he
to
went
come
to
up?
Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Well, the youngest, Yuri Perez of the Marlins was the last 18-year-old to pitch at this level that Kendry's currently at. So he made his big league debut at 20. He's still pitching for the Marlins. Actually, I think he's banged up already.
The youngest starter this year was 21 years old.
Fuentes or whatever, the Braves.
Yeah, Fuentes and Owen Murphy were 21 at some point this season.
The Blue Jays pitcher's pretty young. What's his name that came on the scene?
Savage?
Yeah, that came
He's
on the scene.
22 now,
Yeah,
so how old would he have been when he came up, Vern?
I mean, we're talking
21.
about, do you think Kendry Churio is Doc Gooden?
I mean, maybe.
I hope so, but boy,
Yeah,
you know, I think it's more than likely that we don't see him until 2028.
Yeah, you're probably right. I just want
And
wishful
still,
thinking,
he's
you know?
20, and it'll be awesome. But
Yeah, he'd be 20 years
he's
old.
awesome right now. So, and the Royals are not. So, yeah, you would like to see something awesome.
Like if they just called up Shields and Churio tomorrow, I'd be like, well, that's fun. For the
Yeah,
rest of
bring
the
Zion Rose and Blake Mitchell and all your buddies from A-ball. Sure, let's do it.
Vern would love that.
That's where all the talent is.
Vern would love that. And it would make his job a hell of a lot more
Are you guys going to go up there?
What's that?
You guys going to Davenport? You guys going to make that trip?
Well, I think next year, depending on where they start, we've talked about already.
We just got to time out. It's harder with a pitcher because you got to like time out when their actual start is.
Now, if they're both in the
Bigger
same team, at least you got two. You know, the road trip can be for either player, Shields or Churio. I don't know.
Or Zion. Maybe we'll get a chance if they're all in Double-A together. But Zion's a high school kid. He's not going to be in Double-A by then, will he?
No, Zion
Zion's
played.
gonna start-
He played at Louisville.
No, he did play Louisville. He's a
Yeah, he
college
played
player.
at Louisville, and JJ said most of those guys are going to start at Quad Cities.
Okay. All right.
To Quad Cities
Problem
we
is
go.
Kendry Churio might be in Double-A to start next season.
Right.
Maybe they got arena up in Quad City. We can do the fight up there, Vern, and then we can go to the baseball game. You know, after if things go well. You know.
And let's hope we don't mention Quad Cities before August next year.
Yeah. July 23rd. I'm sick of talking about A-ball players.
Come on. Get
Thanks,
off
Vern.
the phone line. I'm going to beat your ass, Cole.
There's Josh Springer, our Royals insider, joining us normally Wednesday at 12:30 here on the show.
And that's fair. Like him just saying, like, is he Doc Gooden? I don't know. I don't know if Kendry Churio is. I'll tell you right this. By the start of next season, Kendry Churio will be a top 25 prospect in baseball.
I think there's a real chance.
He's going to
a real
be
chance.
that kind of player, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, David Shields is also in the top 100 now. I think, let's put it this way, I think both will easily be top 50. How about I think both will enter next season MLB pipeline top 50 players.
You got to get in the. I guess we got to get in the Kendry Churio card game.
I know. I got a bunch of David Shields cards.
He looks good too.
I need to. That's where most of my investment is on the prospects. I need to buy up some Churio cards. So
he's got to be the youngest guy on the list. He's 18 years old. Like at some point, that's just crazy. Where is he on the list? He is currently 65th. Kevin Alvarez from the Astros, another guy at 66th, is also 18 years old. But what the hell's even the point of having this guy in here? Is he any good? There's a 27-year-old, 67th on the list.
For who?
27?
For who?
Dodgers. Is he in the big leagues right now and just hasn't graduated?
No idea.
He's listed as a Dodgers. That's why. He's made 4 starts for the Dodgers this year and somehow has a 1.33 earned run average. So River Ryan got to fly up the list because he's pitching well for them. But yeah, 18 years old is crazy. I think he'll be a top 25 prospect in baseball entering next season. Now, maybe that's because I think of some of these guys like River Ryan will graduate, right? So that's somebody.
That's
who
how you
won't
move
stand
up.
in
That's how
his
you move
way.
up in a lot of reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. You keep playing well and do this. And look, some part of me, and like baseball's the only sport that won't just do this. Like if you watch Kendry Churio's velocity stuff, strikeout stuff, there's a strong argument, like LeBron in basketball or anybody else, he's pitching. That translates anywhere. Like part of you does wonder sometimes that if you just stuck a kid in the majors at 19 years old, if he just has A+++ stuff.
Yeah, no, I hear, the stuff that you and I can't answer would be, because we've never talked to the guy, is, there's also the mental side of it, right? It's not just this, what's their makeup when, they struggle. But then, look, doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. Hell, look at Chase Burns. So, I was very high on last year. We were mainly with the card stuff. He's a stud with Cincinnati. He made a start last year. He got rocked in the first inning. Remember, he got completely rocked. And then now, fast forward to this year, he's been one of the better pitchers in baseball. He just signed a big contract extension with the Cincinnati Reds.
The question is he, Zach Greinke got up at 20. So it's like, it's not unheard of. But that would still mean, like Vern said, 2028.
Yeah.
In 2028, he'd get up at 20 years old. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I was not bringing up Chase Burns because of the age comp. I was just saying,
Chase
how do
Burns
you?
is 23.
He's 23. I just meant more of like, what happens? You get called up, you get rocked. How do you handle it?
Yep.
Chase Burns handled it well. Was that because he's a more mature person? I don't know. So that would be the challenge. They know those guys better than we do. But.
Zach Greinke, he pitched really well his rookie season. Then he went back, thought about becoming a professional lawnmower and quitting baseball altogether or restarting as a shortstop, and then refounded a few years later. So, he did rebound in his career, but he had a major setback his second year in baseball, when he had an almost 6-point earned run average, and maybe he would have been better just coming up at 22. Because by 26, 25, he'd won a Cy Young, and he was the best pitcher in baseball, so who knows?
Chris from Quad Cities texted in and said, let me know when you guys are coming up. Dinner's on me. We already got invites for
Quad Cities. That'd be fun.
Yeah, you said Davenport, Iowa, is that right?
It's like a 5-hour drive.
I've been to the Quad Cities. I've told you the story. My sister, way back when, my twin sister was auditioning for different ballet companies, and I had to drive her all the way up there.
There's a ballet company in Quad Cities?
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Not to knock this.
Yeah. Well, she didn't go there. She went to Vegas instead, but she had an audition there.
Fine choice.
Way back, yeah. And so I had to drive her all the way up there. And yeah, I just sat there. While she was doing her thing, there was a casino there on the river, and I just chilled for a bit.
You just hung out in the casino?
While I waited. What else was I going to do in Quad Cities?
I don't know. I mean, there's probably some stuff to do. I'm sure it's a fine city.
It was the middle of the day. There wasn't a baseball game going on or anything.
Drew, you been to Quad Cities? I've never been.
Not to my knowledge, no. Yeah. Maybe through there, but not
to your knowledge.
There.
I do think next year, whether they're in Quad Cities or not, they probably won't be. But
if they're at the same level,
we'll have to do a road. I think we'll do a road trip again above board.
How do we do it above board?
What? We know what we have to do.
Wait, who do we get the shirt for? Do we make a shirt? No shirts.
We'll do a dual shirt.
A dual shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It says Kendry Shields.
Something like that.
David Churio. That one sounds better. I like David Churio better.
Or it's their silhouettes or something. I don't know.
Oh, them pitching.
They're like arm motion.
Silhouettes? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. It's a dual shirt. Interesting. Okay.
How else are we going to do it?
I don't know. That's why I was asking.
We can't plan out 3 weeks in advance what day they're going to pitch. I mean, you can try, but an off day, a rain out screws the whole thing up.
Because we try to give you a 30-day notice. Finding the window is going to be tough, but we're going to try.
Someone says, I'm serious. Would love to see you guys up here. Stadium's amazing.
Hey, it does look cool. It's right there on the
At some point, we got to do it.
Maybe that'll be next road trip. But you guys drive up to Quad Cities with us to go watch.
That's a little bit of a haul.
Yeah, but I mean, people went to Arkansas. I mean, I know it's adding an hour or two.
Gold, do you like Quad Cities better than the Tennessee cities? I think I prefer the Tennessee cities better, but I've never, other than a quick trip, I don't know any better, Tennessee cities. All right, up next, we'll work in a random question of the day since we ran late there with Vern. We'll also get into the Chiefs a bit more in camp with looking at the quarterbacks that are in this division. And how about the entire NFL? We do it every year right around this time. We'll take a look at some of the top 10 quarterbacks.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
On Monday, it's going to be about 98 or 100 degrees. You want to find a way to stay cool, and obviously you don't want that AC breaking down. And if it does, you want to know who to call. And that means you need to call the guys over at Climate Control. They've been serving KC owners for over 35 years. They know how to get your cooling system ready to handle this scorching hot summer weather that we're dealing with. You want to stay cool and comfortable this summer? Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. That's 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. You don't want to wait till the AC unit breaks down until you're really having some problems. You want to visit ClimateControlKC.com today. ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com.
Hey, it's Brew. Between my radio show, filming content, editing videos, and trying to stay connected with family, reliable Wi-Fi isn't really optional anymore. I just need it to work. That's why I like that with Xfinity, you get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years, guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, Xfinity makes getting connected simple with same-day Wi-Fi so you can get online in minutes. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
How old is your roof? If it's over 15 years old, now's the time to catch small issues before they become costly repairs. Century Roofing has protected Kansas City homes for more than 36 years and installed over 36,000 roofs. That's why homeowners voted Century Roofing Best Roofing Company in Johnson County for the 5th year in a row and Best in Kansas City for the 2nd consecutive year. Schedule your free inspection today at CenturyRoofingKC.com. KC based and female owned. Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. If you have breast, head and neck, or brain cancer, proton therapy may be a better treatment than conventional radiation. Don't wait. Get your second opinion at Kansas City Proton Institute. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced proton therapy team. Learn more at kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
The corrupt political establishment. If you're ready to give them the finger, Taylor Burks is your man for Congress. Taylor Burks, America First conservative, outsider, 3 combat deployments as a naval commander. Taylor Burks will stand with President Trump against rhinos and the corrupt establishment. In Congress, Burks will always put America first. He'll work with Trump to deport every last illegal, ban communist China from owning 1 inch of our land, and protect our elections by passing the SAVE Act once and for all. So if you want to tell off the political establishment, you conservative warrior Taylor Burks, an America First patriot for Congress. Paid for by Show Me Valor PAC. www.showmevalorpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Show Me Valor PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And right now, save $500 on Tempur-Breeze mattresses, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Sun's out, so dads are too. This Father's Day at Lowe's, shop the gear that'll make his summer. Get 2 free Select DeWalt power tools when you buy a Select 5 amp-hour battery kit for weekends in the garage. Plus, get a free Blackstone 6-piece stainless steel griddle kit when you buy a Select Blackstone griddle. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 6/24. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to the home of the Royals, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
One o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you.
Random question here in a little bit since we missed it.
Yeah, we'll work in
People
random
don't like
question.
we missed a random question. We always get like texts asking
You have to
where it
make a
went.
decision. Would you guys rather us do the random question this half hour or a snitch line? Because we had a snitch line planned.
We could do a snitch line tomorrow if
Listener
you want.
choice. Listener choice.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Whatever you want.
Here in about 15 minutes or so, we can either do the random question that Cody had planned or we can do snitch line. If not, we'll just bump it to tomorrow.
Let us know, 913-586-7965. But earlier in the show, we went through, because we felt like we had to put our name to it, our quarterback list. And I want to kind of revisit that because I am a little surprised you and I ended up with the same top 5. Because, again, we don't leave this out. Drew's is the most different in the top 5, but we got a very different 6 through 10 as a group. There are some similar names, and I'm surprised we all had Herbert. I'm surprised we all had May. The second you get after 5, I think there are probably 10 quarterbacks you can make an argument for.
Yeah, it's jumbled.
For the 5 spots, and that's what makes it a challenge. You can say it should be Jordan Love or Drake May or Darnold or Purdy or Hurts and Caleb Williams. There's so many. Maybe it's more than 10 for the 5 spots. The 5 I had first were Allen. You and I had the same: Mahomes, Allen, Stafford, Burrow, Lamar in order. I was tempted to put Burrow lower too. But I give Burrow made a Super Bowl. Lamar's got the extra MVP. They both have had some injury concerns over the last. Yeah, that's true. They both have had some concerns over that, like the injury stuff. Stafford, to me, is the only guy who's moved up. Otherwise, I would have had Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Lamar for a while. But Stafford's long since proven he's one of the dudes. He belongs on the list. I borderline almost put him second.
I was going to say, the 2 swaps is because I had Mahomes, Allen, Stafford, Burrow, Jackson. The only thing I thought about swapping was moving Burrow to 5, Lamar to 4, and moving Stafford to 2 and Allen to 3.
Which, again...
And Drew had Stafford 1. He had Mahomes 2, right? Is that right, Drew? And then you had Josh Allen behind Joe Burrow, if I remember right from earlier.
Yep.
And like if I go back through it, Stafford is the one guy he's got 65,000 career passing yards, 423 career. And it's not a what have you done for me lately problem either. He led the league in passing yards, passing touchdowns, and only had 8 interceptions last year. Now, look, he's got talent. He's got talent all over the world, and he's got an all-world coach. No one's denying the fact that the man has help. He only threw 20 touchdowns last year. In 16 games, only threw 20 touchdowns last year. So I'm not here to tell you every single year. If you're talking consistent numbers, well, then Jared Goff should be in everyone's top 10. He's just outside mine. He's 11th. And it's only because there's some missing part of his game. And I understand part of my list is an intangible thing. And I know that that's an unfair thing because I can't in any way quantify it for you other than I feel like sometimes when I'm ranking quarterbacks, it's just I'll know it when I see it. And that's what hurts. And when I watch Purdy, I don't get overly blown away with when I watch him play the impressive. And how Dak and Herbert ended up on my list.
Well, let's go 6 through 10 then, because that's where it got more interesting. Other than the disagreement we had with Drew on the top 5 with where Burrow was at.
He had Burrow 3, is that right? Stafford 2. Stafford 1, Stafford Mahomes 2, Burrow 3. Yeah.
6 through 10, I'm with you that this was a jumbled mess. I could have made a case to have Justin Herbert even lower than I did, and as in not in the top 10. I could have made a case probably to have him much higher. So I went Dak Prescott 6, Drake May 7, Goff 8, Herbert 9, Williams 10, and if you were wondering, just outside that I had Hurts at 11 and Darnold at 12. Jalen Hurts is the tough one because He's a Super Bowl MVP. He won a Super Bowl. He was great even in the Super Bowl loss to Kansas City. But as you kind of said, you watch him play last year. Now, maybe this is on Nick Sirianni. Maybe you blame the multiple OCs over the last couple of years. But he looked very average and just did not separate himself from a lot of the top-tier quarterbacks in the league last year. Maybe this year he goes out and plays great, but I did not have Hurts in the top 10. And yeah, I had Caleb Williams 10. And I think a year from now, we're all going to have Caleb Williams in our top 8.
I need to see him put up a big number first. Take a team deep into a playoff run, which he's gotten close on that, and put up 4,000 yards, put up 30 touchdowns. Like Justin Herbert's first or second season in the league, bigger statistically than Caleb Williams. And this is not multiple guys second year in the league. Drake May's second year in the league is competing for an MVP. I still need the big statistical years. Ben Johnson, and supposedly they like their weapons. And they're not great weapons, but they've certainly spent stuff on them to make an effort in it. And so, like, Caleb Williams was outside mine. He was 11th when I was ranking him out because I kept going further down the list. And I guess this is what I'm curious about as we made these lists. And we can send them out so you guys can see them. But when you guys made your list, did you find yourself thinking that there's a lot of mediocre play or there's just a lot of good quarterbacks that aren't great and they're hard to kind of delineate between the two?
I thought
mediocre play or good quarterbacks?
I thought there were just a lot of tier 2 quarterbacks. You know, the tier 1s are pretty obvious, right? Mahomes.
I think those 5 are obvious.
Yeah, Mahomes, Allen, Stafford, Burrow, Jackson. And then I still would almost I still think Dak Prescott's a level above Herbert and Caleb Williams, but
you think he's in a little bit of
he's in no man's land.
Snucky tier 2 by himself.
And then there's a lot of tier 3 guys. And
are we too high on Dak? We all had Dak pretty high.
I'm surprised you guys had Dak where I for a couple of years I've been higher on Dak. I've been called crazy.
When I started to do
Dak.
the list, I couldn't put. I think Dak's a better quarterback than Herbert. I think he's a better quarterback than some of these guys. And so, like, when I started to make the list, I was like, I think Dak's better than those guys. And I don't know if, again, we're delusional because he's had a 4,900-yard season, a 4,500-yard season, a 4,600-yard season. He had 4,530 touchdowns last year. And I know he's got weapons, but, like, when Dak Prescott's thing, and look, maybe this is where we should ding Dak more. Dak Prescott's numbers are related to his health. And I dinged Joe Burrow on that a little bit, but I also have him below Burrow, so it's not like I'm dinging him. He only played 8 games 2 years ago, 12 games 4 years before that. In the last, 7 seasons or 6 seasons for him, he's only played 3 complete seasons. That's the knock on Dak. Can you physically be available? He's played 5, 12, and 8 games, 16, 17, and 17. But that's only 3 complete seasons in 6 years. Or maybe I would have him with the tier of the other guys. Or maybe I would put him in a tier on his own with the seconds. But that's how he gets dinged gold to me and ends up with everyone else 5 through 15.
It is interesting because Joe Burrow only has had 3 full seasons of health as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
His story is the exact same as Dak Prescott. The only difference is Joe
he's
Burrow
put up
went
better
to a
numbers.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, he went to a Super Bowl and he's put up some bigger numbers, some gaudier numbers.
Yeah, and someone says, like, what is Dak won? But that's also why Dak is 6th on the list, guys.
Nobody's
he's not
won anything.
But that's the point. Like, when you get past the top 3 or 4, there's going to be some pushback, or there's going to be certainly things you can point out. Dak Prescott at 6, I don't think you can complain as much about. If all of a sudden I had Dak Prescott 3rd, then you guys would be like, what the hell? It makes no sense. Tell me, this is always the part of the exercise that is fun. It's way easier to text in, or for us even when we see other people's lists, and say, all right, well, how's that guy here? Oh, then tell me who should be higher. Like, legitimately, sell me on why Dak should be lower than Drake May, though, or lower than Jared Goff or Justin Herbert. I don't think you really can.
And if we start saying what have they won, I can't emphasize enough the very sad list of active starting NFL quarterbacks who have won a Super Bowl. Those guys are Aaron Rodgers, who's much older. He's not going to include himself in this list.
Sam Darnold.
Patrick Mahomes, now Sam Darnold, Matt Stafford. I think that's the end of the list. Now let's just say guys who've been to a Super Bowl. Goff, Burrow, Hurts has won 1 and been to 2. Mm-hmm. So, like, he would be higher on the list.
Yeah, if we did it just based on accomplishments, then Mahomes would be Mahomes
and Purdy.
Yeah, Mahomes. Like, if we were just doing it on who's gotten to Super Bowls and stuff, well, then yeah, Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford,
and that's some of the
Sam
list.
Darnold and Brock Purdy would all be in the top 5 if we just did it off. And Jalen Hurts would all be in the top 5 or 6.
There aren't that many active quarterbacks who are starting for their teams with a Super Bowl win. It is a very short list. It is, again, Rodgers, Mahomes, Stafford, Darnold, Hurts, So it's like 5 guys, 6 guys. So if you're saying what if they won, do you mean who has MVPs? Well, then we have the right guys at top. Lamar, Josh Allen. If you're saying who's just been to a Super Bowl, well, then we have some of the right guys on top. You've got Goff in your top 10. Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. He's in the top 10. Hurts is the only guy we're dismissing. Can we quickly have a conversation on Hurts? Is it just because he's a better runner than a passer? Are we giving him the Lamar Jackson treatment?
No, Lamar Jackson's been more impressive.
Lamar's always been a top 5 quarterback.
Lamar's been
since he stepped in.
Lamar's been far more impressive. You go and look at
Jalen Hurts averages 3,200 yards passing a season and 20 touchdowns.
Last year he had 3,200 yards passing. The year where they won the Super Bowl, he had 2,900 yards passing.
He had 3,800 the year they lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs.
Yeah, but the last 2 years he hasn't had over 3,300 yards passing.
I just be honest, and this is not just like a running quarterback thing because he's a good runner. But he's not an elite runner. It's like he had 421 yards, 630, 605. Like that's like 100 more than Mahomes. That's not like massive. You start putting and this is the problem, is that I don't respect tush-push touchdowns. They don't mean anything to me statistically. You standing on the 1 yard line while someone shoves your ass into the end zone, those touchdowns are, and I do mean this, meaningless in the count to me. I don't care about them for Josh Allen. I don't care about Jalen Hurts. They say nothing about your ability to play the position of quarterback. They are simply just a shortcut to racking up touchdown totals. They are not an actual indicative number that says anything about the level of quarterback you play. And so, like, those numbers, the fact that he's had 10, 13, 15, 14, and 8, totaling up 63 rushing touchdowns, 40 of those are via the tush push. I don't care. I don't care about 40 of those touchdowns from a how seriously do I take him category. It's a great offensive scheme. It doesn't say anything about his ability. If you put him in a neutral scheme or a team that didn't run the tush push or the tush push was eliminated and we made everyone go out there and play quarterback and just run like normal, he'd be way further down the... He's not even the runner Josh Allen is. And so, like, he's a worse passer and a worse runner. And that's where I think I run into the problem. And some of that maybe is Sirianni. I assume there was, like, another rumor that he's, like, using... like there was, like, I think it was rigged, but, like, people are constantly looking for reasons to, like, dismiss Sirianni. There was I think it was a fake story, but there was one that...
I still don't know what Nick Sirianni does there.
Yeah, I don't either.
And he's won a Super Bowl.
But they're good.
He's won a Super Bowl.
He must do something, right?
No, Big Dom handles it all. Big Dom handles it all there. He's running the show. He's actually the one in charge.
There was an article that said he used ChatGPT and left the prompt at the bottom of the email, but it's not real. It was fake. But
then why did you bring it up?
Because it I think sometimes it speaks to how much respect we have for them if we believe it for a half a second. I'm like, you know what? I do believe Nick Sirianni would leave on a ChatGPT prompt on an email to the team. And that speaks to if we did the same list later, but for coaches, it's why I don't respect him. The fact that I would even believe it for a half a second. I wouldn't believe Andy Reid actually did that. I wouldn't believe Sean McVay was guilty. It's the things, I don't know. And we haven't done our coaching ranking yet. I guess we could, but.
We can do that next week, maybe.
I don't know where I'd have. I'll tell you right now, Andy's still somewhere near the top.
You don't have to worry about Sean McDermott anymore, Cody.
No, and he was never in my top 10 anyway, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think about McVay and Andy
We
Reid.
need to go pull up last year's list for next week.
I don't think I ever had McDermott in there. I don't respect McDermott. He's fine. He's like a league average coach.
I went back and looked.
Maybe I had him 10th.
I was trying to find. Maybe never mind. That's not the updated one. I thought I found our coach list from last year, but I don't have it.
No, you don't remember?
I was just curious to see if we would have how much we'd alter. We can do it next week, but
if you maybe rank out all, the real question is, does anybody still have Kevin O'Connell was on people's list there for a while?
Yeah, as a top 10. I still think he's probably top 10.
Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's...
You know how many games they still won last year despite having Max Brosmer or whatever his name was?
They won more than you think.
And J.J. McCarthy as the quarterback?
I think the one guy who might be off my list is, if I got to 10...
Vikings still found a way.
John Harbaugh might not make it. He'll be close, but he might not.
The Vikings still won 9 games last year despite... that was viewed as a terrible year. They still won 9 games. They won their final 5.
Ben Johnson? Is he going to be a guy that makes the list?
We'll see.
When you make it?
We'll see.
I'm just trying to think about the guys who might make the list. Vrabel's going to be, if he wasn't on there before.
Mike Tomlin's not in the league anymore, so you might have. We all had him probably as in the top 10. So that's an open spot that somebody's going to slide into.
Maybe somebody likes Liam Cohen for the bottom end of that list. He had some success. I don't know.
Let's do it next week and see. I think we'll have some different.
I'm just like, I'm running it through in my head, and I'm like,
there's a few obvious ones. We're all going to have Sean McVay and Andy Reid at the top of the list.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to have Kyle Shanahan.
Mike McDonald is going to absolutely be in the top 10 now. He was not in our top 10 last year. I guarantee you that.
No. Honest to God, if I'd ranked it out to 20, he might not have been on it. I didn't. And it's not like, it was just an unknown. I didn't realize he was going to be so good. And yeah, he probably is in all of our top 10. Dead last is Aaron Glenn, 32.
Yeah.
You got somebody below that?
No. No. Todd Bowles-Leese has done a few things.
What about Todd Monken?
Todd Monken is below him, I think.
Below Aaron Glenn? Todd Monken hasn't lost yet.
I would say Aaron Glenn and Todd Monken are 32A and 32B.
Yeah, they're right. I mean, they're right there. They're
31 and 32 is Monken and Glenn. I would say Bowles is probably like 28 or 29. But again, Bowles has won a division.
Yeah.
So I'll give him credit for that. I just think he makes terrible in-game.
I almost think you can't rank it if they've never been a head coach. Like, it's not fair to rank Jeff Hafley.
So you just don't even put him on the list
or
yet.
Todd Monken.
So he's just in A.
Yeah. If I'm making a list, Jeff Hafley and Todd Monken, well, they're just going to end up being like 32 and 31 and 30 because they have to coach crappy football teams and they probably won't have success.
Yeah, you probably just
out of like,
not applicable.
default. Yeah, they're in A. Now, John Harbaugh has coached.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to rank him even though he's with a new team.
Absolutely.
I just think if you were a first
Robert
year...
Saleh, same thing, right? Robert
yeah.
Saleh's with Tennessee. Where do you put him?
Yeah, if you just and Mike McCarthy, I'm allowed to rank him even though he took a year off. He's coached 20 years in the league. I'm allowed to put him somewhere on the list.
All right. It was kind of split on the text line, but let's just do a random question. We'll do snitch line maybe tomorrow or next week. The text line was fairly split on that. Let's get to the random question of the day.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. And, of course, over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, we live stream the show. Although, I saw the 96.5 The Fan now has a TikTok. Should we be going live over there instead of...
We do have a TikTok account
You
now.
go live on TikTok. Maybe we should be going over there.
Yeah,
which platform would we ditch? We'd have to ditch one.
Well, then we can't do it.
No.
For our as much as TikTok's important, but we wouldn't want to ditch Twitch or
We're
something.
not ditching YouTube.
Or YouTube.
We're not,
no, I don't think it'd be smart to ditch
Facebook
one.
could be the one I ditch.
But we have a lot. We have a lot of people that still.
Yeah, but they're all calling us uggos over there. You know, teach them a lesson.
Oh, that was funny.
They're gonna have to go. They're gonna have to go find us on some other site.
We've all heard the Phase for Radio thing. That's nothing new, right? We've all heard that. But the funny, look. You can say whatever you want, right? It doesn't mean people can't push back. But there was a funny comment. What was it yesterday? Let me pull it back up.
Out the normal one. Face for radio.
These two. This was a response to our live stream yesterday. These two are perfect. This is verbatim, so the bad grammar and everything. Yeah. These two are perfect example of faces made for radio and why radio shouldn't have cameras. I won't name the person. I won't name the individual, but I'll point out, sir. Your profile photo is a dog. And a quick glance, I'd say, is probably a smart decision that his profile photo is a dog and not of him. So I don't know why he's throwing shots our way.
The ugly ones usually do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to drag people
Anyway,
down.
go ahead with the random question.
But my random question today is whether or not you're interested in a new album that's coming out. From Pat McAfee.
Oh.
Quote, for as long as I can remember, my mere existence has made people hate my guts. I've been writing songs for about 20 years, and it's time to... let them know about it.
Okay.
A lot of headlines and narratives. If I was to die, that's a weird thing to put, I'd like my kids to know exactly who their dad is. August 14th. The Diary of a Polarizing Figure. Here's an example of a song. I just want to know at the end of this song if this is an album you will give a shot to. It's a terrible.
Better produced than yours already.
I'm sure it's professionally produced. That's way different.
I'm all the way in your jeans, smoking on some new green, changing up the routine, gratitude truly. Feel like new school dean, life's pretty cool. G3 jobs, fuel means tank top, blue jeans, never change. Crew needs deep shots, view screens, movie star, 2 scenes, bank account juicy, cancel you me, boogeyman.
The question is, are you interested in the full album?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
McAfee. I gotta be that is one of the douchiest things anybody has ever written in 3 sentences. His post about the album is one of the single stupidest thing I've ever seen someone of his stature ever post.
Cody, I'm be honest.
Ever.
That song it kind of goes hard.
It doesn't go hard at all.
Yes, it does. It goes a little hard.
You think that song goes hard? I'm questioning all of your music taste moving
a little
forward.
bit. It goes a little hard.
I thought it was going to be way worse. I had not heard it till just now. I would love to hear the other songs. I thought it was going to be way worse. As far as Pat McAfee and the whole thing, look, obviously extremely talented, wildly successful. He's built a huge brand. He's the face of ESPN now. I think we all agree at this point in time. I think, like a lot of times, the oversaturation has gotten crazy to now he knows how powerful he is. And so now he's even more like douchebaggy at times. But my biggest gripe with them in that show, because I think it is very entertaining, is they try to say we just care about sports. We don't care about anything else. And then when they get involved in any sort of controversy, then they try to play the dumb jock thing. Like, we're just guys talking football over here. They try to go like dumb jock all of a sudden. Other than that, I have no issue with Pat McAfee. My biggest gripe is whenever they get a little controversial, they avoid the Mike Vrabel stuff intentionally because they're friends with him and stuff like that, and people call them out for it. Then we're just, we don't know any, but we're just guys we're just talking football.
It said, if I was to die, I'd like my kids to know exactly who their dad is. What is that sentence? That's how you're pitching your album? But also, this just goes back to it's not good, Drew. That song's not good. I'm sorry. I
like it better than some of your songs
that's
already.
Fine.
Yeah.
Cody, that's fine.
What did you not like about that song, then?
All of it.
No.
The whole thing.
You can't say that.
The monotonous.
Because it's too easy to say that.
Okay, the monotonous part of it, he's clearly auto-tuned to the absolute rafters.
So was T-Pain.
T-Pain did it better. I don't like. You know what it is?
Don't.
No,
come on now.
It's not.
God's view screens, movie star through scenes, bank account juicy,
I hate all.
Well, you don't like country then. If you're making fun of
I don't like one at the end.
Any of
when he's like boogeyman, spook. Like the wordplay actually
it's
kind of nice. Actually,
no, I don't
it's not
like
bad.
It. I don't like any of it.
That's crazy.
And I owe a song to the listener. So, I got to do a song here soon, too. So, I get the criticism. I understand what it's like to put out music and be criticized. I get it. I'm not even claiming that, his is incredibly, much well produced than anything I've ever put out. Nobody's making that argument. But it's it's not good, man. Even for modern country gold, and I know that you like it. It's not.
I do like
even
new
by
country.
that standard, it's ass.
It definitely sounded country rock rapish. It felt like there was, there's a heavy bass in there. Definitely.
I don't think it's great, but I also think I was expecting to be way worse.
I think that's why I like it so much. It's not.
The bar was
it's
set
not
so
awful.
low.
It's not like, oh my gosh. Because of this, I'm not going and listening to the album. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I got to check it out. I like that little snippet.
I would say it's not way different than a normal artist would name an album, because I should probably remember that for any rap album I've ever enjoyed or anything like that. This is not a crazy album, but the title, the diary of a polarizing figure, that doesn't sound way different than a lot of musicians would name it. But somehow, because he's not currently a professional musician, it just makes the title sound worse. That doesn't sound way off from what an Eminem title would be, in fairness, right? They all are just F them haters is essentially every album title for a long time. So I don't want to pretend like that.
So they take Happy Birthday Patrick over that.
I really don't like that. I'm not saying it just to be a hater or because I'm oversaturated with Pat McAfee. I just think, no, I don't want any of that. So will you listen to the album, Drew? You're going to give it a shot now? Sounds like you're giving it a shot. The question is, will you give the album a shot?
Royals, he'll fight. Salvi, they'll fight. You'll see.
That's better than his. Now, in fairness, that's a popular song made by a musician.
Yeah, you stole the beat. Yeah,
I didn't have to make the beat or have a producer.
This is original.
I'm all the way
I think his audience
smoking on some new green.
The beat's not bad. The beat's not bad.
The beginning of it gives off a little bit of, it's like country Kid Cudi with the humming. I don't know what it is. I like it.
I don't know what you like about it. I genuinely don't understand.
It feels Kid Cudi-ish at the beginning. If you've heard Kid Cudi hum and stuff like that, I don't know. There's just something about it that I actually like.
Look how mad Cody's getting.
I think it sounds like music made for somebody with a cut-off white T-shirt and neck tattoos. That feels
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I think you hate country music, Cody.
Drew, I think that's exactly a big reason why he doesn't like it. Cody does not
admittedly,
like
that's
country.
probably not helping. I'm not a huge country music fan. So, admittedly, that's definitely not
country hype song.
I don't listen to enough country to like be sure like that this isn't how it all sounds, and I'm discrediting it for that. I will absolutely give you that. I listen to almost no country music, so like I can't be sure. It definitely feels like I'm coming back to watch CFL football on the CW.
Someone made a country version of gin and juice.
That's Fish, isn't it?
That's crazy. I don't know. It was in the system. I was looking up other songs.
I've definitely heard. Oh, it's not Fish. Who sings that? It's too. I know that song. I know who sings that. It's never going to come to me. Doesn't matter. I can't remember now.
If you were to combine like country and
Old
rap
Town
or like
Road-ish
rock,
is
it
what
feels
somebody said.
Old Town Road is a good.
Someone says that's not country. Now I don't know if that's people saying like the argument within country anyway. Some people think the new country is not really country. I like the new country. They claim that's not country, but
do we have any country songs? Can you bring back a popular country song when we come back from break, Drew?
I mean, if you want to skip what's trending, then
we'll do what's trending, and then you can play one after what's trending.
Okay.
Just
So we'll do that.
First.
We'll do what's trending. We'll also talk about Tyreek Hill, who acknowledged his health not great right now.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. You know, good enough just isn't good enough. You need to be at the best that you can be. Great is what you should be expecting, just like anything, and the teams that we enjoy rooting for on a daily basis. That's exactly why Blue Chew raised the bar for you. Blue Chew Gold, the revolutionary 4-in-1 upgrade that targets both your brain and your body, has been introduced. It dissolves right under your tongue and starts working in as little as 15 minutes, so there's less waiting and there's more confidence for you and a whole new level of readiness. This is the future of performance. Faster, smarter, and precision-engineered for results. Blue Chew's turning bedroom performance into an Olympic sport, so go for gold. Turbocharge your love life and make it easy to get hard. Get started today at BlueChew.com and see why millions of men trust Blue Chew now with a gold standard upgrade that's changing the game for good. And if you go over to BlueChew.com, you can discover your options there. And there's a special deal for you. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code KFNZ. That's promo code KFNZ. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety info.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Baseball fans, the MLB season is in full swing, and FanDuel's giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action is easy. You just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game. And if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. Maybe you want to bet on Junior Caminero to hit another home run, or Kyle Schwarber, two of the guys with the most home runs in all of baseball. If you're ready to play your game, head over to FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local to opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB and 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. $30 million in guaranteed prizes you can cash in this football season out in Las Vegas with 3 Circa Sports contests. Entries starting at $1,000, all with zero rake. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor. You pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with a $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circasports.com for details.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number 1 on What's Trending, the Royals back in action tonight. They're in Detroit, taking on the Tigers. 5:40 first pitch. Vern's on deck show at 4:30. We all know yesterday, history made with Salvador Perez tying George Brett's all-time Royals record with his 317th home run. So we'll see if Salvador Perez can break the Royals record. And it's interesting, his first home run was off of Max Scherzer in Detroit way back when. Could he break the record in Detroit? Be kind of cool, other than doing it at home.
Yeah, that would be cool, obviously. But I don't want to have to make him wait 10 days. I kind of hope it's at home, but he's likely to break it sometime in this next little stretch. Next up on What's Trending, Tyreek Hill, who we'll talk about here more in a minute, says he still has no power in his left leg 10 months after recovery from double surgeries on that left leg that had him miss the rest of last season. Does that mean he can't get the power back quickly? I don't know. There's some rumors about whether or not that's possible. We'll talk more about it here in a minute, but he still says he doesn't have the same juice in that left leg after surgery.
News in the NFL today. Now, this shouldn't be all that surprising, but I think it's the fact that we had to wait till July 23rd. The Raiders have officially signed number 1 overall pick Fernando Mendoza to a 4-year, fully guaranteed $57.2 million contract. We still don't know if he's going to start week 1. I tend to still believe that Kirk Cousins will start week 1, and then we'll get Mendoza. I don't know. Maybe it's the Chiefs game. Maybe it's week 4 when we might be out in Vegas for that one.
Could be. That would certainly make it for an interesting game, at least on that end, so we'll see. Next up on What's Trending, the Carolina Panthers' Nick Scorton was carted off the first day of camp with a knee injury. He was said leaving the cart. We'll have an MRI done. Someone says, Dave Canal said he didn't want to speculate, hoping for the best, but he was seen crying, and there were a lot of people surrounding him at that time, so there is some fear that it might be a serious injury. He was 3rd in all of the NFL in sacks by a rookie last season, just behind a couple of guys, including James Pierce. He had 5 sacks last year. He was a player a lot of people thought might take a big step forward this year, but maybe that'll get stopped short. We'll see. He had a look like a scary injury at practice today.
Yeah, and that's always the worst thing for any team. First day of camp, anytime during training camp, when you got a key player, and they're a banged-up team, as you already said, with the left and right tackle hurt there for the Carolina Panthers. That is what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Before we get into what Tyreek Hill had to say about his health and what it means for this 2026 season, we were talking in the prior segment about Pat McAfee's album he released. Cody was trashing it. We were saying
I only heard the one song. His album doesn't come out for a couple weeks.
Yeah, the one song. And then it got us into a conversation about like what's the popular songs now. And
Yeah,
also
just what
new
country sounds
versus old country. Anyway, Drew this is a top 5 song, you said?
This is in the country top 50 from Spotify, but it is in the top.
Is this
5.
Ella Langley?
No.
Okay. You got a
She's
little
more
Choose in
traditional
Texas.
country, isn't she? I think so. I
Choose
wanted
in
to go.
Texas is like a number 1 song.
You want more like rock country?
Okay.
No, well,
all right, let's play whatever you got.
Let's
Who's
hear
it?
it.
Who is this?
This is Morgan Wallen.
Okay. Great song. Great song. What do you think?
Okay.
Cody? What do you think, Cody?
Significantly better than the Pat McAfee song.
Well, yeah, he's Morgan Wallen.
Not for me.
It's Morgan Wallen, yeah.
So in fairness, yeah, I probably just don't like country music. It's like the only genre of music, honestly, I don't really listen to.
I mean,
I don't hate that anybody like what you like. I don't really care about that.
Obviously, the Morgan Wallen. I mean, we're talking about Pat McAfee versus a top-selling artist.
Yeah, like
that has multiple.
I don't even know what genre it is, but yeah,
top hits. You know.
But yeah, it's not for me.
Ella Langley's everywhere, though. We can play some of hers.
I don't. Do I know any of her songs?
You've heard Drew when you get a chance.
I don't know.
Play Choose in Texas. You've heard it. Choose in Texas is like number 1, number 2 song for a while.
It's number 1. Let me find it.
Choosing Texas? Choosing or choosing?
I think
it's country, Cody.
Choose in.
That's country music.
Choose in
That's a good
Texas.
point. Thank you, Drew.
Come on. Ella Langley's everywhere. She's got multiple top 10 hits right now.
Again, I'm not denying its popularity, just that it hasn't regularly been for me.
You got it. Okay. Choose in Texas.
If it's really that popular song, you'd think I'd hear it.
It came out in October of last year. All right, here we go.
Okay, I have heard the song.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I don't listen. I've heard this part of the song, I guess. It's like one of those things I've heard in like if I'm sitting somewhere, not like it's ever played in my house.
Number 1 for the 14th week on the Hot Billboard 100.
I don't listen to country music, I guess.
Yeah, Billboard Hot 100, 14 weeks.
I've only heard that beginning part, and I feel like maybe in a
number 1.
commercial or something.
No, it is everywhere.
Maybe that's what.
By the way, do you know what the record is for?
Do
you know what the record is for consecutive weeks at number 1
in country or just in general?
Let's see. Number 1 on the longest leading Hot 100 hits solely by a female artist.
I'd guess something by Mariah Carey.
So great guess.
Or Janet Jackson.
Great guess, Mariah Carey. 22 weeks with All I Want for Christmas back from 2019 to 2026.
Unbelievable.
And then Choose in Texas is now there, tied with We Belong Together from Mariah Carey back in 2005. I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston has also had 14 weeks. And then Brandy and Monica, 1998.
That Boy Is Mine?
The Boy Is Mine at
Great
13
song.
weeks. And then Independent Woman, you remember that from Destiny's Child.
Yep.
That was 11. And then Tony Braxton, Unbreak My Heart.
Another classic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone's like Cody likes Lil Baby.
I'll listen to genuinely pretty much any genre of music that isn't country. But anymore, I've been listening to like books in the car a lot lately. I needed like a break.
I'd fall asleep and wreck my car if I was reading it. If I
I'm
had a
not
book,
kidding.
audiobook in my, I'd fall asleep.
It probably since the
My
first
brother
time
likes
since like
audiobooks.
I don't know, high school probably. I have read 30 books this year or something.
That's good.
I'm like, right, 30 books or
This
something.
is going to sound weird. Does it count if you're listening to the book
Yes.
and you're not reading it?
I still think so.
So if you would like do you want the scientific answer on that?
Oh gosh, we have to turn it into
No,
this.
not really. But
yeah, I don't want it either.
Yeah.
Do you want the simple answer?
Sure.
My wife is a librarian and has been a professional librarian for 20 years. She says it counts.
Okay.
It counts.
Is that good enough?
It
That's a
counts.
professional opinion.
That's all we need to know.
She's a librarian. I've also physically read books. It's not all audiobooks.
Yeah. No. I got you. I was just asking.
But
it's more just to see
The
what you
science
say.
behind it says it is exact. It impacts the exact same part of the brain as reading. So it's the same.
Yeah, that's great. No, in the car to me, I would not enjoy it in the car though.
No,
nah.
All these drives to St. Joe. I'm gonna.
Oh, is that what you're gonna do? Do you recommend doing that instead of listening to music? See, I'm just gonna listen to New Country just for you the whole time,
I don't
driving
track
back
anything.
and forth.
Like same as I don't have a run tracker. Like I don't actually have a tracker for the.
Well,
books.
I'm just saying, over the course of training camp, we need to like on the show keep a mark of how many books you.
I got to make 15-hour-long drives back and forth. So
How many
2
books you get
hours
through?
in a car every day, 15 times. I thought about just checking out one super long audiobook. Like The Stand.
How many books can you read? Can you listen to in 30 hours? Because that's what you're talking about.
It depends on like a standard regular book is probably like 12 to 17 hours.
You can get 2 books done during camp.
Yeah. But like The Stand is 48 hours long. That like super thick Stephen King novel. That thing's 48 hours long.
I'm serious, Cody. I would fall asleep on the drive back from St. Joe. I would get in an accident.
Really?
Yes, if an audiobook was playing.
Maybe, but it could be like like a super engaging one. Like I listened to Project Hail Mary, an audiobook. Okay. It might keep you engaged.
Yeah.
Over on some Reed over on Twitch says, I'm gonna need a list of these 30 books. They're not. Well, I see how it is. Or do you just want to know what I'm reading? Is this we could do a Cody Gold book club? Would you read one book if we did a book club just one time?
Yeah, I mean,
for one book.
Sure. Yeah.
You read one. We just talked about this.
Well, that was when I was
on to the beach.
That was on not this trip. That was the Bahamas beach trip. That was a self-help book. That was The Art of Not Giving a Bleep.
Yeah,
I liked it.
You did?
I did. It was recommended by an athlete.
I forget who it was. Yeah.
I don't think at this point there's any secret in it. It was Vinny. He had suggested it as a possible book.
The Art of Not Giving a Bleep.
Yeah.
I've seen that book multiple times.
It's orange cover. You've probably seen it. Yeah. It was good. It was a good read. I'd rather read stuff like that than I don't want to get into some whole long series of sci-fi novels or give me the nonfiction.
Project Hip. Okay, I like historical nonfiction or nonfiction, but I've been reading. I've had
So
more
the art of
sci-fi this year.
The art of not having your organs trafficked.
Yeah, I've had some sci-fi run this year too, because I've read a bunch from the Dungeon Crawler Carl series that I think is going to become a TV series at some point.
Sorry, I'm laughing at the text, not your book.
Others. No, yeah. You know what book I really liked that wasn't all that long that you might enjoy was James, which is written from
the Giant Peach?
No, just James. It is a book written. It's fiction.
It is a classic.
It's fiction, but it's written from the side of the escaped slave from Huck Finn. So instead of reading Huck Finn, you're reading it from the other person's perspective.
Okay.
Cool, yeah.
I thought it was really interesting.
That's okay.
Really good. But there were several others.
Someone said their wife has read 33 books this year, goal of 52.
Like a book a week?
I didn't have a book
a week.
Emma read. My wife, she read 90-something last year. I'm not even going to come close to that. She reads at least a book a week.
30
She
issues.
reads sometimes
Again, props
2 or 3
to-
a week.
No hate, props to whoever. That's just not me, but that's awesome. I mean, nope.
Someone says my wife reads or listens to an average of 23 books a month. Does she have a job?
23 a month?
That's
Holy
a book a day almost.
Wow.
That's crazy. Has Cody read the Iliad and the Odyssey? I've read both. But it's been a very long time. And I'm not picking the Odyssey back up just to watch the movie. I'm just going to have to remember what I remember from
I do want to see the
high
movie.
school book
I
reports
do
or
want to
whatever.
see the movie.
You know? That's it. I can't.
I actually might need to do that this week. Go see it. I haven't been to a movie theater in a while. I haven't gone to a movie theater since the Stranger Things finale.
I know that I should go watch the Odyssey in the IMAX and see it the way Christopher Nolan intended. I can promise you, I'm going to watch it over a 2-week span on Netflix.
weeks?
Dude, it's 3 hours. You think I got 3 hours on a clean eat? No way. No chance. No chance I'm getting through that in a single sitting. It's going to be a 1-week watch. I told Drew the other day, I was getting in a habit of watching movies in the evening for a little bit, Cold. And I got through an entire movie in one night, which is a good run for me. But then I watched another one and it only took me 2 nights. I was like, oh, wow, pretty good. So I started a third movie that I was interested in. This is over a couple weeks. I started a third movie. It took me 4 full nights to finish it. It was 90
not fun.
It was
That's not fun.
90
That's
minutes long. I
too
still
long.
enjoyed it. It's fine.
This person wasn't paying attention. They said Gold's the type of dude who reads Animorphs. I literally said I hate that.
He said he likes
I like
nonfiction.
I want historical or the art of not giving a bleep.
Why don't you read my favorite book of all time still? It's historical nonfiction. Devil in the White City. Still my favorite book of all time.
Look it up.
It's a serial killer and the building of the White City for the World's Fair in Chicago. What's not to like? And it's nonfiction.
Historical nonfiction.
Mm-hmm.
Novelistic style.
Eric Larson makes a lot of good historical nonfiction if you're interested in his stuff. Who knew? We're going to talk books here on Cody and Gold. No one saw this coming.
All right, let's talk about Tyreek Hill.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the truth is, I think he's only got a 30 or 40% chance of playing this season. But I'll tell you right now, that entire 30% Gold, let's call it 30% chance Tyreek Hill plays this season. And then I got to break down each percentage by which team he plays for. 30% chance he plays for the Chiefs. I don't even think it's another team he will play for. Of the 30% chance I give him to set foot on a football field, I think the only team he would set foot on a football field for this season is Kansas City. I don't think there's another team even in play. I think if he plays, it's here.
I'm not sure he's playing. Here, listen to this. This was from his Instagram account or whatever. He decided to add a soundtrack to it as well.
So it's about 10 months after doing 2 surgeries. My left leg is the one that I injured. I have no power in my left leg at all, so I'm trying to regain all the power back in my left leg. But it's one day at a time.
I have no power in my left leg. Remember, he had a devastating knee injury last September. We are obviously about to turn the calendar to August here in a week or so. If there was any thought that he was going to be ready for the start of the season, well, that's clearly gone. I guess if you're still holding on to the November show up and join the team, you could still hold on to that. I don't know if he's playing football this year, man. And yes, I realize November is still months away, and so give him another 12-plus weeks of rehab, see what happens. Yeah. But he has no power. The fact that the athlete is admitting, I have no power in my left leg, and camp is starting for teams across the NFL next week.
By today or by tomorrow, every single team will have their players in camp because it's report day for the Chiefs tomorrow. So by tomorrow, everyone will technically be at camp. Maybe they haven't all practiced, but they all would have physically shown up by then. And so you and I both know he was never going to be ready September 1.
Right.
Or 15th or October 1st.
But we thought end of October, November, and I'm not sure that's possible.
If he's not got power in the leg, it seems like a stretch. Now, he is working out. He is moving.
And how good is he going to be?
He needs the power for the explosion, to run fast. What made him... And look, he was a good route runner. I'm not saying he couldn't be a good wide receiver without some of the speed. But he needs some of the speed if he's going to be worth bringing in and taking the chance on.
Yeah, I'm with you that if he's going to play for anybody this year, I certainly think it's the Chiefs as well. But, I mean... How good is he going to be? Chiefs fans talking about that want him back. You want him back because you think he's going to be good. Like, if he is just not the same player, then I don't want him back anyway.
The biggest thing that would be concerning to me is that, like you're saying, he's capable of contributing, but he's got to be healthy to do that fully. Like, he has to have some speed at least.
Yeah.
Where he's not. He's 32, so he'll never be what he was probably post-injury, but looking into the next couple of years, maybe it's not this year, but they bring him in next year and he can give you kind of what you got from D-Hop where you get 300-400 yards and he's an effective player for a couple of years and then he retires as a Chief. I don't think people would be mad at that. I do think, though, your expectations have to be tempered, though, when he comes in, that he's not going to be the same player that you ever saw when he was in a Chiefs jersey.
How comparable is it to people mentioned the Tank Dell one. How comparable was it to that injury?
I don't know if it would...
Because Tank Dell still hasn't played.
I don't think it was as bad as Tank's, but Tank is just now getting back, potentially going to be able to play this season.
The official diagnosis for Hill was dislocated kneecap, knee joint, multiple torn ligaments, including the ACL and LCL.
It was as bad as you could
required two surgeries. Tank Dell injury,
he had multiple surgeries.
He tore his ACL, MCL, and LCL, and a dislocated knee.
Ooh,
so similar, but I don't know. Did I list off the exact? I guess the difference would be Tyreek Hill did not tear his MCL and ACL and LCL. It was just the ACL and LCL. So Tyreek Hill literally tore everything.
But the MCL.
Tank Dell tore everything in his in his knee, but the MCL.
And he didn't play all of last year, and he just now. I think I looked it up earlier when we were having the discussion. I think he's been working out. I saw a video on Instagram the other day that he's working out. I don't know if he's cleared to play yet, but he could be ready to go for this season. But still, though, if you're talking similar injury, a year later, Tyreek Hill's not going to play it all this year then if the injuries are similar.
He said in that same quote, quote, they told me that I might not be able to walk again. And the doctor's like, we don't know what's going to happen with your future. And so, he was making it seem like it was pretty dire. Now, I will say, Tank Dell wasn't even on a practice field by this time 10 months after. So him saying he's not having power, he's doing more than Tank Dell ever was.
Yeah, for sure.
At this stage of the process. So whatever happened with Tank, it was worse.
What's the earliest he comes back? October? November? If you're the Chiefs, okay, the reason the Chiefs would sign him...
I'm not entertaining any time after November 1st if I'm the Chiefs. Probably.
I don't know if he's playing football this year.
Well, that's what I'm saying, at the earliest.
November 1st or a week or two before Thanksgiving, maybe.
Because let's say it's a push for the playoffs, it's December, you know that Tyreek could be potentially ready. Is that something you... look into? Obviously, it depends on where they're at, but is it something you look into? Do you have to consider you're dealing with ligaments and the bones and everything like that? And during the cold, can he stand the cold after the surgeries and all that stuff?
They're going to have to check all that out. And it also admittedly depends on what's Xavier Worthy and what's Rashee Rice doing.
Yeah.
Are they both healthy? Are they both having great years? Then you don't even need to, it doesn't matter. If all of a sudden I tell you, it's the end of October and one of those guys goes down with a serious injury. Hope not, but if that happened, then maybe our thoughts different. Also, what other wide receiver might be available in a trade midseason? The Chiefs have done that before. Are the Chiefs making a playoff push? Are they not? There's so many factors that go into it. I just think if you were still holding out hope that somehow Tyreek Hill is going to join the team, I would say you better get ready for you to be disappointed. That's all. And I know Nate Taylor, who obviously is very well connected, he says he still thinks that they're waiting for Tyreek Hill. I'm not saying that's inaccurate. I'm just saying I am not sold if the player's out here saying, I have no power in my left leg. I don't know why anybody should be expecting that to be the case.
Let's call it a 20% chance he plays this year, just for the sake of the argument. And I made you do the same exercise I did. What percentage chance would you be that he's a Chief of those 20%?
Of the 20, 80.
I would say 95.
Yeah, like it just feels like he's
either
like
a Chief
if
this
he
year or
comes
he's not
back,
playing.
it definitely feels like he's a Chief. I don't know why that just feels like set in stone, but it just feels like a natural fit.
I mean, I think
he's
even
been begging to come back for 2 years, it feels like.
Cody, and even on the video, I think it was on Instagram, I think they were talking about it on McAfee show. They showed the comments. Pat had said something, and then Travis Kelce had said something on, and he was like, man, I miss you guys. Like,
yeah. Did you say you say on McAfee show?
Dude, I don't know how you don't like it, Cody, but anyways.
Look, we've made it.
Sounds like an intro to a vampire show on.
We've made it like 3 hours.
Sounds like pre-game day.
So, Cody, we've made it like 3 hours and 53 minutes on the show today.
Yeah.
And we haven't brought up the elephant in the room of the day.
Which is?
And we're on video.
I know what you guys are going to say.
Yeah, it's coming, Drew.
Well, let me
the
put on
elephant of the day. Put it on the stream, please. ISO on Drew. What's up with the hat today? Are you going fishing afterwards? What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on with the bucket hat today?
No, I've
never seen you with it. That's why I'm asking.
I like a bucket hat. I've never worn it here because of the exact reason what's going on. The headphones.
We didn't say anything all day. I kept it quiet.
No, the headphones, which is why I also
the
took
headphones
it
make it bad.
That's why I took it off after the first segment.
That's
why I took it off after the first segment because I can't. I'm gonna put it on top, and it looks like I look like a
you look
doofus.
you look like the coach in Waterboy,
or the guy who's heckling Happy Gilmore.
I enjoy
yeah.
I enjoy a bucket hat though. Like I'll bring this to the beach. I enjoy the bucket hat.
It's not good with headphones is the problem. It's a perfectly fine look on its own right for you.
I've been debating whether or not to wear it in the studio, and I almost did a couple weeks ago. I was like, no, it's probably not going to work with the headphones. I wore it today, and now I see why.
Not the coach in Waterboy, well, the assistant coach. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
the one that's you can't understand.
And I do look like I do look like what's his name from Goofy's son from a Goofy movie where he's going fishing. We're going
Max's dad.
Yeah, and he pops. Yeah, Max.
Max.
And he pops on the bucket hat. Yeah, I feel like I'm going fishing.
Is this a thing you're going to wear more or what?
You know what? I'm going to wear this while I'm running, guys. So that actually would be
perfect. While you're shirtless running,
that'd make it come full circle. Yeah, absolutely. No, I will not be wearing this when I'm running.
People are asking for a gout update. They pushed back my CT scan, so I don't have an update for you.
How's the gout wrist?
But feels fine at the moment.
Oh.
I